Merry Christmas, Emporium!
Oh, my father left me a bank and I'm all nervous about it.
I'll tell you what, Potter. You can shove your money, stick it up your ass. George Bailey doesn't fuck around like that. Come on, Mary.
My daddy left me a bank. I'm all upset. I can't travel.
It's in George's house and Pete's house.
I was watching that last night.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a good movie.
Dude, it's an awesome movie, but like I always, without failure, I will cry like a bitch at the end whenever all the townsfolk come in and they just like help him out. I'm just like,
Oh, maybe that's your fault. I mean, watch it every fucking year. You know it's coming cold.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't help. I just turn instantly into one big like boo-hooey pussy.
Yeah.
Like every time with that movie. That movie and Charlotte's Web.
Well, the animal dies. I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the farmer died, then I would give a shit with the spider.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think the farmer even has. Maybe he has a couple of lines. I don't think he has some screen time in it.
Terrible actor in that movie. Terrible actor.
You know another movie that gets me every time, and it's top 5 for me easily, maybe top 3. Legends of the Fall.
Never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
For whatever reason, it got billed as like a Brad Pitt romantic novel.
Yeah, that's why I never saw it.
It's complete. They build it the entirely wrong way.
What's the movie about?
So it's Anthony Hopkins as the father, and there's 3 brothers. Brad Pitt's one of the brothers. They live out in like Montana.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of their little bit of life through like the World War I period into the 1920s period, just living out kind of rural life. And you got these different brothers, and they all kind of hit the archetypes. You got the kind brother that everybody loves, like the younger one everybody watches out for. You got kind of the wild brother that just does what he wants. You got the straight-laced brother
The dickhead.
that kind of wants to, not on purpose, like he just wants to, be a businessman type deal. And
Like an oil man.
yeah, but you got some love story stuff too. But it's awesome. I would totally recommend it if no one's ever watched it. Just sit down and it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I'll put that on my movie list.
Which
Let's just watch it right now.
Yeah.
Just
Pause this.
no, keep it going.
Yeah.
We'll just have like 20 minutes of dead hair and you hear a movie softly playing in the background.
What was the movie that had Brad Pitt? Like it was like the Coming to America during the land rush. What was it? What was that movie?
World War Z.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Nicole Kidman, she stabs him in the balls with the pitchfork.
Jesus.
I came so hard in that.
Was that
I don't know that one.
Mountain? No.
Oh, fuck.
Brad Pitt gets stabbed in the junk with a pitchfork by Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, I think it's Nicole Kidman, and like the whole thing is about them coming to America and like during the land rush and all that type of shit. Like they meet and then they meet back again in America, and she was like this aristocrat, really rich bitch from Scotland or Ireland or whatever. And now he was a base human being, like farm boy. They meet again in America, and they're like, oh, now she's the basic bitch, and he's like still a basic bitch. So and then like he's humbled, and then I don't remember the name of the fucking movie.
I don't remember that one.
Oh fuck, it's a good movie.
I think Brad Pitt's a really good actor,
He's
man.
an amazing actor.
I just watched it's Tarantino's new one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
His character, I liked his character a lot. Have you guys seen that?
No,
Once Upon a Time in
I still
Hollywood?
haven't seen that one.
Have you seen it, Wood?
I've had this like I have not really watched any movies in the last 10 years, but over the last like 2 weeks I've really picked up my movie watching. That's I want to watch Hateful Eight and that one.
You guys seen Hateful Eight?
Hateful Eight's pretty good.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy that one.
Slow climb,
Yeah.
but once it gets there, it's just like, oh god, dude.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wasn't his last movie?
This is the most recent one. It came out like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, but he's only do like 10 movies or whatever, right?
That was the rumor. Then I guess he'll probably blow his brains out when the Harvey Weinstein scandals all get
What's
fully
the picture of
released.
him and Matt Groening on the plane come out?
You see, I didn't want anybody to know that I was on the plane, but I had to finish the movie first.
Did you see the? I'm sure it was on Reddit or 4chan. where there was some pictures of him on the plane, and there's a foot in the picture. You know how he likes feet. There's a foot in the picture, and they start, measuring pixel sizes and like known measurements of like how big his head is, and then how big the foot is, and it's like, this is a child size 5 foot, and it's like, oh no.
There's like one article that was talking about with Bill Gates, where like the Bill Gates party or camp, whatever they call it. They're like, Bill Gates denies meeting Epstein and flying with him. And then like a week later, it's like, Bill Gates flew and hung out and chilled with Epstein numerous times, despite him saying no, he didn't.
This picture was taken a week after he got arrested for fucking kids.
Here's a signed book. It says, hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein and flying around with him is my bag, baby. Yeah.
This is total malarkey coincidence.
I mean, if you're one of the richest software guys in the world, Jeffrey Epstein is going to find you.
Oh, that's what I think is like,
He's going to grab you.
they went around just compromised all these billionaires, and it could be anything. With some stuff, it could be like, Lolita, Jeff Epstein's Island type shit. I mean, shit, back in the day, it used to be like, I heard you had sex with a man.
Yeah.
We'll tell everybody. Like, no, God, please don't.
Yeah.
Well, like her whole thing, like Ghislaine was like, there's pictures of her like on red carpet events, like say like Beyonce is like taking a picture and smiling. This bitch runs in and Beyonce's like, get the fuck out of here, just hides her ass and pushes her away.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing, was to at least make it look compromising.
Yeah. It's like the news stations would, depending on what marketing campaign they were using, they would show a picture of Jeff Epstein with Trump, and then Jeff Epstein with the Clintons, but the full picture is Jeff Epstein with both of them.
On Fox News, it was the Clintons. On everything else, it was Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible.
I wonder if anything will come for that with the Ghislaine
no.
stuff.
Once like Biden gets in office, that she'll stay in the system, or like she'll catch COVID or some shit. It's coming.
You think they'll what they call it, dead man switch, or no, not dead man switch is the if they kill you, something happens.
Yeah.
The what's the term called where they like fake your own death or something?
I think it's called fake your own death.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying there's like oh they clawed wronged him, or some term for it or something.
I've just fake your own death.
Yeah. It's like, I read they were, I don't know if it's true, I read they're waking her up like every 15 minutes to make sure she doesn't kill herself.
That's probably going to lead to her killing herself.
Oh no!
I'm going fucking crazy.
Yeah. I call it memory holing, like with the Las Vegas shooter. Like no
that
real.
Is the fucking, like, of all these shootings we've had, like all this shit's going on. It's like I wake up one morning, there's like 100 and something people died at a music concert.
Yeah.
Guy shoots like automatic weapons out of Menley Bay's window, and we know fucking nothing. We know dick all about it.
What shooting? What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Huh?
Independent fact checkers say that there's more info to this shooting than
this has been debunked.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It was Far and Away with Tom Cruise.
Oh, Far and Away. Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, two handsome white guys. Who can tell the difference? We all look the same.
Two beautiful men.
It sounds like the title of like I don't know what kind of movie it would be, but the poster art for it would be like the Homeward Bound. Remember that? Like, that's what the title Far and Away makes me feel like. It's like Tom Cruise with like a golden retriever, blue sky behind him, just sort of 1,000-mile gaze smiling off into the distance.
Or like him and the love interest back to back and like looking at the camera, like closed up.
Homeward Bound was a good movie. Saw it at theaters as a kid.
Yeah.
How the other dogs talk about that? Hey, trained dog talk English. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I was just amazed that Sally Field, after winning 2 Oscars, she went on to be a cat and said she identified as a cat. Yeah. Michael J. Fox, that's probably how he got Parkinson's. Was
probably so. It's very funny. That's cruel.
Well, I remember reading some of those Hollywood directors that take their stuff like super serious and they do a super serious film. They like to rebound with a less serious, more lighthearted,
like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels said that after forget who he played. He was in Gettysburg. I think maybe he played Grant. I can't remember. No, he's kind of young. Maybe he played Stonewall Jackson. I don't know. He said after getting done filming that and doing like a whole movie just about like war and the Battle of Gettysburg, he said he wanted to do something that was total opposite. So he did Dumb and Dumber.
Oh man,
instead.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, totally.
Man, where are those like '90s, like, you know, the genesis of those actors were out of SNL, those type of comedies and movies, like those kind of stopped around like 2000. I think that probably the last generation of that was like Will Ferrell with what's the fucking college movie?
There's Old School.
Old School.
Old School. Yeah, all
those style of movies, like they don't make those anymore.
Yeah, there's not a whole bunch of them. Some of them were quote unquote the underground comedy movies or whatever. For whatever, I wonder, it had to have been a combination of box office quote unquote trouble. However, the Hollywood accounting works. They weren't making money, or they weren't losing enough money for them to write them off. Kind of like the old producers.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks gag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's a big part of it, and just Hollywood in general not wanting to be behind that sort of comedy anymore.
Well,
I think you also have a fair amount of influence coming from outside of Hollywood, because they started doing this stuff with product placement in movies, like years and years ago.
You know, the first fucking Transformers, they got the brand new Camaro with Megan Fox being like 16 years old, leaning over their ass and their kids hanging out.
Don't you want this car and pussy?
Yeah, you know you go to jail. She's
you come watch our movie about robots. We'll get all the cars and pussy you want.
You're gonna look good in this car.
Yeah, you can talk to your boys about how fine this car and this pussy is whenever you leave the movie. Yeah, Transformers.
Even like the Wayne's World movies where he's like chilling back in like the all Reebok gear and like drinking Pepsi. The cola of a new generation.
I pay attention to what is it, Talladega Nights. That movie is just like every scene has like product placement in it.
You kind of can't get away from that because of like the subject material of NASCAR is like that's a product placement sport.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Yeah.
The scene I would point out as far as being like oh my gosh,
most egregious of it
is when they're sitting around the dinner table, and it's, I think it's like the second or third setting in the whole movie, but it's like a 10-minute scene of them all around the dinner table. Anytime they mention a product's name or you see the logo or an image, it's paid to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
So, what was that, like 15, 20 years ago maybe, Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
15, I guess?
Mid-2000s, so yeah.
But I mean, so it's just kept like expanding since then. So like, same way they started doing with news stories with like sponsored content, where it's not news. They're writing an op-ed in order to promote something, but they don't want to tell you we're promoting this.
Yeah.
They want to write an opinion editorial about it instead.
It's just like my man Guy Fieri on the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. They pay him to come there.
Yeah.
Or like Bob Vila when he goes to use a certain product on his renovation show. You're paying Bob Vila to use that product.
Right.
Put your name out there.
Right. So to your point about it, I think that is one of the factors of, as far as like, well, why have things become so stagnant and stale recently? It's because it's not really not focusing about the art so much. I mean, of course, there's filmmakers that are.
Well, movies have always been like a product, but it's even more in that direction. Like,
of course, but like there's been a you have to have a balance between creativity and your net gain off of it.
Paying the bills.
Yeah. So I think that the focus has kind of shifted somewhere in the past like 10 years, where it's like, we don't really need to take the risk about trying something different or outside the market or anything like that. Whereas you could just say like, hey, we'll give you X million amount of dollars to make another Transformers movie, for example. And what if it flops? Well, you've still got all this merch that you can follow up with after it fails at the box office. Now you don't even have a box office anymore.
That's gonna be the weirdest thing. Like, what happens? Because like that was one of the big. Like, you looked at the spending bill that Trump vetoed or whatever. Quotation fingers vetoed. There's like something like $1 billion for the movie industry, like the theater industry. It's like. And you're going to give me $600, but you're going to give them $1 billion because they've dug their fucking heels in the ground for the last 10 years with streaming where the way that's going, and now like something has came and exposed the weakness in your industry.
Yeah.
So now we got to give you money. So and give us $600 so I can go to your fucking shitty movie theater and be packed in like cattle, and pay $17 for a large bucket of popcorn and a Coke.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's where they make their profit from, because movie theaters have to pay to show the movie they want to.
Yeah,
sell tickets for.
It's a stupid industry. Like, if you want me to,
they have to pay per. I think it's per day, if I'm not mistaken. Like per day. My buddy Jordan, he and his wife used to have the cinema in town. Like it was a Red Door Records, and then it turned into the cinema or whatnot.
Yeah, that place was a lot of fun.
And they were explaining to me once that I forget what it was, but it was like you pay for the reels, right?
Yeah.
And you get that for 24 hours, and you can show that movie in 24 hours. I think X amount of times, or however it's set up.
Yeah.
After that, you are not allowed to show that movie anymore.
Yeah.
You have to pay again to show that movie.
Is that the MPAA stuff? Is that what the?
I don't know if they're tied to it. I know that's. I mean, they're definitely a bureaucratic level of the film industry. You know what I mean? I mean, they're associated with the ratings board and everything.
Or I don't know if they had to deal directly with, say, Universal or Sony Pictures.
I guess it would be whoever owns the rights to the film. So I guess the film studios would. So I guess it would be like somebody like Universal or.
And I'm sure there's a liaison out there that deals with all of them.
It's probably the state level movie, like Georgia Motion Picture, whatever, that thing that shows the beginning of the movie or whatever that handles all that.
You just call Fred up. Fred works for them.
Yeah. I got a movie guy.
Yeah.
But then, like, the whole. The reason why I stopped going to movies is because I don't want to go fucking to a movie and sit like literally elbow to elbow with some dickhead who I don't even fucking know.
No, but I mean to the veto thing or whatnot, or that was in that bill. I mean, at least if their theaters were being forced to close and they couldn't generate revenue, you know, how are they going to pay their bills? So if it's like,
well, it all comes back to how they've done everything. You can't work, but we can't give you money.
Yeah, it's fucking corporate fascism.
Yeah, like, you're not allowed to work.
Yeah, you're not allowed to work. You've been a bartender for 15 years and you're trying to get your kid like the first year of college or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't work.
Yeah.
This is hard on all of us. Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, that's my Porsche Cayenne over there.
I say it because it's our money.
Yeah.
It's our tax money. It's not the government giving me an entitlement. It's not an entitlement. I hate that word too. Like I'm entitled. Yeah, I'm entitled to it because it's my fucking money. It went in there. I've been paying taxes since I started working when I was 14 years old, which is probably fucking illegal.
It is.
Where the fuck did you work at 14?
I can't tell you. But tax has been coming out of my check, and the one time stuff starts happening, and we need our money back, you know, personally, to buy groceries and rent, they fall flat on their face. Shocking. I know everyone's shocked over it.
I tell you, that money that you paid when you're 14 has already killed some Afghan kids.
Yeah.
So
that should have never paid any money then. It should have came. There's no way I earned enough to warrant paying any tax.
Well, I mean, that brings up like a great point, though, right? Because like that is the point of like our fucking taxes. It's not to have these travel and entertainment programs that had seemingly been going on for like who knows how long at the federal level. There was something I read where even I don't know about the most recent iteration because I didn't pay attention to the news in like 2 days now.
all the better for yourself.
Well, I mean, I was caught up to whenever Trump was like more money. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Listen to me, itemize all this stuff, and then the Democrats are like, more money? Sure, sure, you got it.
The
and
GOP
then,
shot it down.
yeah, the GOP, yeah.
We had to be fiscally responsible. Now there's going to be a Democratic president.
I tell you what, there's a lot more quote unquote normal people that are really starting to get fed up with all of them, and it's
I think you're going to see populism fuse again. Yeah. You're going to have to, whatever shit is going on with Proud Boys and Antifa, I don't give a fuck about their dick measuring contest of ideological values or whatnot. But most people, I think that why they fight and why this other end of the triangle is encouraging the fringe left and fringe right to fight is because they agree on so many things. They disagree fundamentally.
It's the horseshoe theory.
Well, yes, it is that, but it's also they disagree on how to solve the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because they keep going back to their ideological principles and then trying to convert essentially the other team to do it. And when you can't convert a collective, then you war with that collective.
Yeah. Then you can keep them busy over here while you still do all your fun stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
And go back to the Hamptons or wherever you go.
Where you go fuck your kids at in your room. your little fucking torture room you have.
Yeah. Bill Gates watches on a Zoom call with Jeff Epstein. Yeah. And then they're filming Bill watching it. They're like, oh, look, Bill, we got you now. We got you on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know that is Bill's kink. That's what he likes.
I think I would be terrified to know what Bill Gates' kinks is.
Somebody, he's got that Bill Cosby creep to him. This man has done some dark shit. That's why he's wearing an Afghan sweater. Something's happening here.
Well,
the man installed speakers inside his pool. Who does that shit?
Somebody who electrocutes people in their pool, maybe.
Probably so. Or he likes hearing the smooth jazz. He drowns a kid or some shit like that.
Or he's underwater with scuba gear on, and he's got his jam playing.
Michael McDonald. It really sounds like there's a sock in his mouth now.
I mean, I would think it would be like the South Park version of him, where they have the console wars. And the new guy at Microsoft isn't getting results that Bill Gates wants, so Bill Gates shows up and then just I think he stabs him in his throat or something like that.
Him and Jeff Bezos with his giant brain.
Doesn't talk, just communicates telepathically.
Yeah. I read some more cool stuff on Amazon lately. How they, if somebody's moving a product, say it's a microphone stand, and I think one of the examples was a microphone or camera stand, and Amazon created a ticket that says we're going to stop your store or stop from selling your product because we got a counterfeit claim. Can you please send us some invoices from your suppliers, recent invoices to prove that all this stuff is coming, it's legitimate, it's coming from you and not Bill over here in whatever state, counterfeiting your stuff. And then what Amazon's doing is calling that supplier and, negotiating price, negotiating volume, and then undercutting you from your original product and making basically the same exact product and then calling it Amazon Basics or whatever. So they're coming into swooping under and slowly undercutting all these people that have these Amazon online stores.
Right. Yeah, that's capitalism. It's okay. All right, listen. It's fine.
It's totally not capitalism. I wouldn't think because a lot of these companies they get subsidies from our tax money.
Yeah.
So
like the corn,
corn and grain. Yeah.
Ethanol.
The only reason we're doing ethanol is because the corn industry lobby because they had a fucking glut of corn.
Yeah.
And that whole industry props up the fucking Midwest, from dealers to welders to
trucking,
tractors,
tractor parts, tractor repairs.
Yeah. You talking about center pivot, people sell center pivots, well diggers, corn and grain props up, and dairy out in the Midwest props up that whole entire fucking industry.
And now it's too late. So now when you go to vote the bill on it to do away with the program, it's oh crap, we're going to cut 70,000 people out of jobs tomorrow, and then their network below them, which spiders out to what?
Probably millions.
Say 10, say 100 times that to support.
Right.
Because then you got you're talking about your semi-trailers coming in to pick it up. Well, somebody's got to repair those. Somebody's making semi-tires.
Yeah.
Somebody's putting the semi-tires on at the semi-shop.
It even goes out like say people who like the what's the fucking thing you do like the big like Dodge trucks that do the hot shot.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, even like people who do like hot shot for cattle movement and shit
Yeah.
like that. That's gone.
Yeah.
Like if you pull, it's a sad reality of like of subsidies like that. But when you pull them, that whole industry collapses.
Yeah.
Like it probably fold John Deere.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh yeah. It's like
I don't know if it'd be like that because John Deere's so large that they could just say like, hey Brazil or hey China.
Yeah, they
like,
definitely could.
yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
as far as that American operation,
No, it would be a
fold.
market that would just be gone. Yeah, I agree with you on that. There was something I saw with what was it, 2018 or 2019? Maybe it was earlier this year. I don't even fucking remember, dude. But it was flooding in the Mississippi Valley, like I guess central, like around Iowa, like corn country.
Yeah.
That like had wiped out like something like a third of like the grain storage that like is in like the whole country, like that much volume of it.
I think it floods there a lot. And maybe it might have been a little bit more than normal, but
Right.
the same thing as like New Orleans. It's like what's going to happen. It's like it's just a matter of time. Hurricane's going to come in, the levee's going to break.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta rebuild.
Let's say about
Yeah.
like we'll like say like Louisiana and New Orleans, like when Katrina went in. Katrina didn't hit fucking New Orleans; it hit Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the heavy rain, but like nothing. Like if a Cat 5 rolled into New Orleans proper, that city's gone.
Yeah.
Like everything's gone and never come back.
Yeah.
Do y'all think they have the capability to manipulate weather?
No,
You don't
Yes.
think so?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I think they do.
I mean,
man.
to start a storm, maybe not, but to mitigate a storm or mitigate weather, yeah. What's that stuff? Silver. So what's that stuff they can shoot in the clouds? That's legitimate. I mean, that's
Yeah, but-
Barry.
Let me bring it back. Yeah, I think you can to a certain degree, but not to like steer a storm a certain way.
But like Obama's not in his castle,
No.
pressing the
Build me.
yeah, he's not at the beginning of Aqua Teen Hunger Force and hitting the button and
Send him another hurricane.
yeah. Let me be clear.
I want new hurricane.
yeah,
Tornadoes
yeah.
coming down from the sky.
Cataclysms.
yeah.
I think one of the neatest.
Michelle and I have been talking, and we agreed.
You mean Michael?
Michael and I have been talking. Michelle and I, Michael and I. That's whenever he has his own like Manchurian
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
You know?
What makes you nervous? Well, really, just when Michelle gets angry at me. Huh? Go back. Pardon?
I was picturing them in bed, like, and then like a heated argument starts, and then just out of nowhere, just like I'll kill you, Barry.
Yeah.
You know I will, Barry.
Michelle throwing Obama out of the White House like Jazz on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, I think that
I hate the school lunch. Whoa!
I think they would be able to. What was the one hurricane that was on its way to Florida, and then it just stopped, and it stayed over the Bahamas for like 2 or 3 days?
Oh, was that one this year?
I think it was last year.
Yeah, it was like the captain was drunk of that one,
Full steam! What did he say? I don't know.
Stop!
Sir?
That's when all the 5G towers were getting installed, and the hurricane didn't know where to go.
It's wild though, man. Like I've never seen a storm do that before.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Like, because it just churned over that one spot in the Bahamas.
Do you really think if we can control the weather, Trump's fucking ignorant ass would not like just say that, not like impromptu?
What they tell him?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like
That's also true.
it's like they've been lying. They came out. They were lying to him about how many troops were, say, in Somalia.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Syria.
like bragging about it.
Yeah.
Like in these other
Oh, yeah,
meetings,
yeah,
like,
because-
we told him 1,500.
And then
it's
like,
15,000.
all the like the
Yeah.
left wing media, oh, that's so great. It's like
Yeah.
you're allowing an intelligent apparatus to lie to the
Yeah.
sitting president,
Yeah.
and you're fine with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what precedent you're setting here?
Well,
I'd hate to see those people. I mean, I'm not advocating for anything. I'm reading this. Someone else posted it, not me.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it in different
Yeah.
places. But quote, I would hate it if these people were garroted or had a karambit stuck in their stomach and pulled up to the breastplate. End quote. That's what I'm reading. That's what it says here. Yeah, I'm not.
don't put those words in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm hearing it all over though.
Anvil is all in an uproar. Now,
I think the most interesting argument for weather war is the flooding here recently in China as retaliation for like literally like historic, never before seen levels of flooding.
Yeah. What dam at the Three
Gorges.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of like retaliating through weather and breaking that dam, and like
Yeah.
if effectively if they broke that dam, it would be a black swan event. Like even more so than like 9/11 was. It would change history forever, because then like China would be weak. That would propel us into war in the Southeast Seas and all that type of shit. It'd start a whole level of shit that would take years to overcome, because it would wipe
that's the
out.
one that's on the Yangtze
Yeah.
River or whatnot.
It would wipe out like all of their industrial power. It'd wipe out all of their agricultural power. Like it would wipe out everything and kill millions and millions of people.
Oh no, and probably not just there. Like the supply line.
It'd fuck supply lines up forever.
Like at the beginning of the virus stuff. Like I didn't know this, and I should have known it. Like all the medical stuff that's produced in China and shipped over, even just basic stuff like Tylenol, Motrin, or the generic equivalents, or like bandages. Mm-hmm. If you look on the back
PPE.
of like what's that stuff? Band-Aids or like the gauze packs. If you look at that, all of those are made in China.
Yeah.
Also, very. I'm sure some are made here in America, but very few.
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough for what we
That was so fucking frustrating at the start of the pandemic. It was like, why don't we have these things? It's like, because you sold out to fucking China 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't you hear the fucking orange idiot?
Yeah.
Like when he's been talking about it for a while.
And I thought that would be a wake-up call.
I don't think a lot of people are because I didn't used to be. You know what I mean? Like I don't think a lot of people are politically conscious, right? You know what I mean? Like it's
Well, they've walked into a fucking store. They walked up, bought a pack of pens and toilet paper and cheese and wine and crackers, and they pay no attention to where it comes from. Pay no attention how it got there. They go buy a fucking Clorox cleanup spray or what the fuck ever. They don't see the bottle, the chemical in the bottle is made in fucking some industrial city in China or down in Mexico. They don't pay attention to that shit. No one understands supply lines. Like, cities only have enough food supply for 3 days. It requires there to be a constant stream of trucks coming in and coming out. Coming in and coming out.
Cannot stop.
Cannot stop. And
Cannot
that's
stop.
just what's in America that has came over from other countries through trade. When those countries have problems, it creates a fucking ripple all the way down there. Now you can't get fucking toilet paper.
right.
That's another thing that was scary. Going back to the tractor part. You know, all these tractor parts are made in China.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot. You know, sure, there's stuff made here. There's stuff you can fab up out of sheet metal and stuff here to get by well. But as far as like, say, wiring harnesses or this specific part or whatever, it's made in China. So once your supply lines stop and all my equipment starts breaking down, well, we can't get it for another 8 weeks. Okay, well, I've got 2 tractors left. Then this one breaks down. I can't get that hose fitting for 3 weeks. So now, you know, if it's harvest season or whatever, you're starting to back up everything.
Right. I was talking with someone recently about how a spot like where we're at, where Valdosta is and I use this term lightly, the metropolitan hub of like this rural area. But it's like Valdosta is such a it's a pretty autonomous area because like food will and does grow here and is sold here as well. You know, you have agriculture, you have butcheries that are here. You know, livestock. You have a lot of local supply chains. So like, and the population here, like in the county, I think is just over 100,000. You know what I mean? So it's like barely metropolitan. You know what I mean? But there's, you know, the next closest metro area is Tallahassee, and that's 70 miles. You know?
Is there Thomasville Metro?
I don't think Thomas County has. It may have 100,000, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's as because it doesn't have an interstate going through it. You know what I mean? It's got that highway that goes through it.
It's almost like a Tallahassee suburb. Like I know,
really
Thomasville has its own history and its own, you know, its own world over there. Same as, you know, Albany or what, you know, whatever. But I know they get a lot of traffic to and from Tallahassee.
Yeah. Well, it's about halfway between Albany and Tallahassee. You know, maybe a little less than halfway, but if you're coming from Tally. But I think that I think shit's gonna get worse is the way I hope it's not. You know what I mean? But it's 2020 still, so I don't know what to think of it.
We just had a fucking RV blow up in downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
That warned people.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh my God, how ominous that was. We'll get to that in a little bit, but
there's some good stuff on that one.
Yeah.
That I saw this morning.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I saw a wild Twitter thread about that, and I was like, I can't devote millions to this shit. I'm just gonna go fucking listen. I'm gonna do something else for a little while.
It is. It's a bit alarming, man. Like, I don't know the before getting to the Nashville stuff, because I don't know, but I like that there's not that many people here, but there's still people here. You know what I mean?
About Austin is it's got the right mix of a big enough town to get what you need. We've got a movie theater, we've got restaurants, we've got a mall, we have 9 Walmarts.
Two Applebee's.
2 Applebee's, you know, even a Chili's because we're high dollar like that.
Yeah.
On Norman Drive, which I think it may go 2 miles. On one block of it, there's 2 McDonald's. Like,
oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like they're less than a mile apart from each other.
And both stay busy as they can be.
Yeah. Lots of churches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them Pentecostal, but if that's not your cup of tea, I mean, there's a mosque, there's a Temple Israel, there's a Catholic church, there's a Mormon church.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah, it's right across from the call center behind Prince Automotive. There's a it looks kind of like a warehouse building as well. It's not like a fancy church or anything, but it's just a white building. But,
okay.
Yeah, there's a mosque right there. I mean, yeah, like I think if you're an organized religion and you're not like killing people or doing shit like that, like yeah, you should be allowed to have a church. You know, there's a guy in Kentucky that started an ayahuasca church.
Oh yeah.
More power to him.
I imagine he's a pretty interesting character to talk to.
I would love to go to that church.
Yeah. Do you have to make an appointment? I'm sure.
Yeah, he has to approve you.
Okay.
As far as whether or not you need the journey,
some healing.
Yeah.
Did you watch that Rogan episode that had the guy that was like the what do you call them? People who dig up shit in the dirt and do research.
Archaeologist?
He's like a forensic archaeologist or some shit. And he was trying to go back and prove that like a lot of Christian ceremonies back 1,000 years ago contained drugs.
Yeah.
And they found a brazier. You know, they walked down and do the with the smoke and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They chemical tested. It cannabis residue.
Yeah. I did see that. Turns out that they had found these cups as well that had beer and ergot in it, LSD.
Okay.
So they would have these. You gotta get out of there, buddy. I'm about to get the dinosaur. If you don't, see him?
No.
Why, Dad?
It's a little plastic toy dinosaur. Bonkers absolutely hates it. So I've been using it. It's a classical condition.
It looks terrible. I would not like that coming at me. Whoa. Yeah, because in that part of like the burning bush stuff with Moses and some of that.
The acacia tree.
Yeah, the acacia tree, which has DMT in it. But yeah, like all this like shamanic stuff was like a religion, you know what I mean? And then at some point Rome was just sort of like, nah, fuck it, it's evil.
Yeah.
And they removed it from their ceremonies, and then that influenced our drug laws in the 20th century.
Well, I'm sure if they were trying to get a wrangle on all of this land and all these different folks, which I'm sure was a lot more tribal back then, these little individual villages and whatever, that folks that were doing that were a lot more problematic to get together. And,
because you couldn't control them.
Yeah.
Because they're woke,
Yeah.
you know, like in the true sense of it. But yeah, the Holy See, SEE, which is like I think it's like the Congress of the Vatican. They had campaigns throughout the 20th century influencing our drug laws, like lobbyists, and one of them was that having psychedelia legal would turn white Christians over to savage religions such as shamanism, and that it should be discouraged.
What did Oregon legalize shrooms?
I think
Washington.
I think Portland legalized everything.
Did they? Decriminalize. You can have up to X. You can have plenty on your person or in your home without anybody able to do anything about it.
Which that is something with leftists I wholeheartedly agree with, and I agree with the solution to it as well, which is decriminalize every single thing. But I don't think you should sell to kids. I think that should be punishable. You know what I mean?
Don't have more than six people doing it though at a time.
Yeah,
that is a problem.
Oh god, that fucking shit.
It's
a Zoom call Christmas. Just log in and wish us happy days. Zoom call Christmas. That's my new song. I hope you like
How
it.
fucking sad is like you have. I shouldn't say sad. People are trying to make do what they can do. Like Daniel lives in fucking, San Francisco, doesn't want to fly and give something to grandma or whatever. That's acceptable.
Yeah, that is a Zoom call Christmas.
But you do have people who like fucking they live in the same community or a couple counties over and they're calling in. It's like, drive your fucking ass over there.
Like there is this one thing where this I think it was in Oregon as well. A woman couldn't take being locked down anymore. She was an old woman, so she decided that she wanted to have assisted suicide as well. The irony, though, was that while the reason she wanted to go was not because she was suffering from COVID, it's because she was suffering from the lockdown, is because she wasn't allowed to be around people anymore. She said it was too much for her. The irony was that whenever she left, all of her loved ones and friends then decided to come into the room with her and sing songs to her as she dies. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah. I'm not allowed to make the choice to hang out and just live. But
she's dying anyway. They can come. She's not going to get COVID dead.
But think about it though. It's like she couldn't take being locked down and being isolated, and they were going to force her to be isolated again because it's not safe for her, right?
Yeah.
So instead, they're like, well, let's go ahead and just bring everybody in and just kill her, and then we don't have to worry about her anymore. Wouldn't that make everybody feel better?
The mental gymnastics a lot of folks are doing right now it's incredible.
It's alarming, dude. It's psychopathy.
It's scary.
I'm grabbing some water real quick. Hang on.
No, you won't.
Beg your pardon? Thought I had another bottle already. I guess I was wrong.
I was telling him before you set it up that I was watching the PBR stuff. It was all Christmas Day, the bull ride and shit.
Yeah.
And they would have commercials all day about people selling masks. And it's like perfectly healthy people.
Yeah.
Running through a sunlit park with a neck gaiter on.
Oh yeah.
It's like, do you understand?
Oh, there's been a lot of altercations of people in parks or whatever walking their dog, doing whatever outside, folks stopping them, hollering at them, approaching them to put on your mask,
yelling, open mouth yelling at them.
To put on your mask, you murderer, and this and that, and some of them are getting their ass beat, and then they cry about it. You know, I don't know, just leave me alone.
I think if you're that concerned with it, you should probably stay away from that person, especially if you're outside at the park, right?
Yeah.
Why won't you just stay away from them?
Yeah.
It's like Biden.
Ugh.
Biden ran on like doing a mask mandate in his first 100 days.
Kiss my ass.
But
I'm not wearing
problem
a
is,
fucking mask if the government says you have to wear a
He had
mask.
to walk it back because there's no legal way they can do that.
Well,
No.
not when I'm
do things like that.
not when I'm in my yard mowing the grass.
No.
That
Kiss my ass. I'm not doing that shit. If I'm going into a business and they're like, you got to wear a mask to do this, or if I'm going to see the doctor and they're like, you have to wear a mask to come in and have your appointment, I may not agree with it, I may complain, but I'm gonna fucking do it. But
I'll wear it in a small business. That's fine.
fine.
That's not hurting me at all. But part of the theater of it, seeing these videos, these guys in government, they're off screen, off the podium area, off stage, and before they come up to the podium to speak, you can see them pull a mask out of their pocket, put it on. They walk up the steps to the podium, and then they take the mask off to speak because they want the theater of them having a mask on.
That's like going into fucking like. I haven't really eaten. I've eaten in one restaurant in the last 10 months, and like it's so funny. Like waiting on your food, people are outside. The crowd is waiting to go inside. No mask on.
Yeah.
They walk to the fucking door, put a mask on, walk to their booth or wherever, and then sit down and then take their mask off.
yeah,
Or the indoor dining in say New York City is banned. Outdoor dining is okay. Well, springtime, summertime, you're out there on your little picnic table or whatever, you're eating, all right, we're open air. Well, now it's cold, and they've built these shelters on the sidewalk, and they're basically little portable cook buildings, and little sheds, but instead of a door, they've got some hanging plastic. And that's legal because it's technically outside, but you're still enclosed with a limited point of entry and exit, so it's a confined space.
even more than what it would be if you were in the building,
and that's okay. And
one of the arguments I've seen people is like, you could buy UV filter systems for air conditioning units and like heater units,
right?
So the air comes through a section, it's like 10 feet long of UV light, kills everything, goes back out, and that's. And I'm a fucking dumbass farmer, so don't quote me on science bullshit. But like, they think that a lot of like the transmission in small spaces is coming because the air is constantly circulating the virus, and no matter how small that filter is, some of that shit's going to get through and get back out into the room.
Right.
Same as airplanes.
Yeah.
They're saying airplanes are safe because the filtration system on them is so extensive. It doesn't matter that you're in a tube with 50 other people or however many it is. Or I don't even know if they've got you spaced or whatever.
They're packing down like fucking calories.
They done got back to normal.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like you can't go to work as a bartender. Some places churches are shut down, but you go to Costco.
Yeah. Black Friday wasn't canceled, but dinner with your family definitely was canceled.
Yeah. Well, the Constitution, the First Amendment, it doesn't say that you can assemble to protest. It says to peaceably assemble. That there's no reason that's given why you're assembled together. It's saying that people have the right to be with other people and do as they please. Or
you could relabel your Christmas dinner as a protest for whatever, and that's okay. One of these health professionals encouraging folks to protest at the very beginning of the virus stuff back in March or April.
Yeah,
encouraging them like this is bigger than the virus. Get out there and protest.
Yeah,
encouraging folks.
It's like the whole they have like the in New York they had the Black Trans Lives Matter march. In like LA they had like one of the black. I'm not saying you have a right to protest. They're completely within the right to do that. I'm all for them getting out to do that. Let's just get that out in the air. But then like they have 100,000 people marching down the street in LA, and then 2 weeks later there's a spike in cases, and then it's like, oh nope, that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's unrelated.
It's unrelated.
Yeah. Yet whenever they use the argument against Florida with like the beaches opening, they're like, well, that's exactly why Florida being reckless and opening their beaches and all the people gathered. It's like I don't. If people are gathering, like, and they're outside, like, and they're in close proximity, I think that's the problem. It doesn't matter if they're there for political or outside, recreational reasons.
Air and UV light that kills the virus instantly on a beach. Like, you're not gonna. You know what the most hilarious thing is? There's that guy when all this started and then it closed the beaches. There's a lawyer somewhere like Fort Myers or down on the Miami side of Florida. It was like walking on the beach with a Grim Reaper outfit. That same fucking dumb shit was he's back on TV like saying how great the fucking Black Lives Matter protests were.
Yeah.
So it's like it's that type of like and like he said earlier, like you have all these journalists who like they're questioning the president wearing a fucking mask. And like the news companies themselves, they cut the feed, but the live feed, they get up and take their fucking masks off.
Yeah. Even Fauci.
Yeah.
Even Lord Fauci himself, Saint Fauci.
The groundhog himself.
We need to get another doctor. Like, why do we have only one doctor in the country?
Well, even
Fauci, right? He's the guy.
Yeah.
Even that Laura Burks, like, was found. Everybody needs to stay home. Don't do anything. That she's found at what?
Her parents.
Yeah. Where did she go? Whatever place.
She traveled someplace, but for Thanksgiving, and whenever somebody questioned her about it, she was like, "Well, my parents have been having some problems since the lockdown, and we were all really worried." It's like, welcome to the fucking same scenario everybody else is in. You cunt, you fucking cunt, man. Good Lord.
But no, the rules apply to you, not to me.
Yeah.
Y'all are stupid. I'm smart.
You guys are poor. I'm rich. Fuck off.
Yeah. And it's like is it that Gavin Newsom was found eating out at some trendy restaurant?
He kept his fucking that cunt as well. He kept his wineries open, went out to eat at the businesses he liked, and told everybody else to shut down and shut up, or you go to jail.
The problem with the whole French Laundry is it was like the fucking health minister of California was there too.
Yeah,
like all people telling these businesses to shut down and all this, wear the mask, you can't work. All that horse shit. All those people are there, not social distance, indoor dining, and laughing about everything.
Yeah, that tells me all I need to know. I mean, the virus is real.
Yeah,
it's definitely more lethal against older folks, and say, who knows, like what blood type I am, and what genetic stuff I've got inside me that might make me predisposed to becoming more ill.
Right.
But as far as seeing those people out and about and doing whatever they want, tells me all I need to know.
I think 90% of it is theater bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think the sickness and the death and all that stuff is very real.
Yeah.
But like
all these small businesses have died, and I know it gets thrown around. Small business is a myth, but these people that say that live in these giant cities.
Yeah.
And I mean, places like Valdosta and Lakeland, Quitman are sustained by small businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of people use them.
A small business is like a mechanic shop or like a little sandwich shop that opens up 3 days a week on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's a small business.
That's feeding a family there, and so many of these have gone under. And and
that's part of the problem. Like you start seeing in elections, like the rural and city divide is getting wider and wider and wider. Like these people in big cities are like way removed from reality.
Well, I mean, now it's starting to you start to see more red conversion, I guess, to like, was it Miami-Dade County?
Yeah,
is like purple now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's it there on the Texas border? It's across from Juarez City, El Paso, and like that region, which has been heavily Latino and Chicano.
It's so hard for Trump. Hard.
Yeah. So and it's not because of the GOP or anything. You know what I mean? Like there's like a consciousness shift that's happened with populism.
I don't worry. GOP will fuck it up. I mean, they if they want to, they can get away from the idiocy of Trump and take on the populist message. And they could probably do relatively well in the next 20 years. They're not going to fucking do that. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to lose all the gains in minorities that Trump made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Say what you want about Trump as a person. I mean, you could go all day about his character, but like he spoke a good message in his first time he ran it in 2016. and then in this, in 20, he just ran on dancing to Macho Man and Biden bad, vote me. That's what he ran on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't work for him, obviously, because it appears he lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, the gains he gained like 10 million voters.
Yeah, unprecedented.
Yeah, like
an unprecedented turnout.
I think there's always. This is just my opinion. I do not have any evidence that is anything other than anecdotal.
Yeah.
Nor am I trying to assert truth or that anything funny happened with the results of the election. But personally, I think there's always impropriety in elections. I think there's always voter fraud on a microcosm sort of level, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that this time around, you just got too many people that are unplugged from whatever matrix programming that they've raised us all with and have tapped into this the dark web intellectualism, right, of like truth seeking and things of this nature, and now you can't hide it anymore, and now everybody's like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Well, if you look at like when you break down like who voted for who in the election, like there was no rural shift for Trump. Like it's pretty much he stayed the same, gained a little bit, gained a lot of minorities, but who won the election for Biden was middle-class, educated white liberals in the suburbs. They swung hard for that. And those are the people right there that are the most asleep. I hate using that terminology.
Yeah.
They're the most fucking asleep. They've been through the college system. They've been programmed. They've been taught how to think.
They don't know how the sausage is made.
They don't know how the sausage is made. And then they're so used to going to these fucking poisoned wells of, like, mainstream media, these fucking blog sites that masquerade as echo chambers, blog sites that masquerade as news organizations.
Yeah, they're public relations firm for establishment politicians in the DNC and GOP. That's the way, and most of them are DNC.
Yeah, and like they've had a diet of that since their teenage years.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, the Disney shit, right? It's like if you there could be somebody that sees like all this like wicked stuff that has been attached to Disney Corp and ABC over the years, and like they'll know about it more than I'm just sort of glossing at it, but then they'll still be like oh, we're going to Disney World, like we're taking our kids to go see the Disney movie. It's like, well, if you know all this stuff's going on, why are you supporting a company like that? You know what I mean? Like it's I think the reason is because the theater works, right? Like all this dog and pony shit. It's
like guys are like, advertising doesn't work on me. It's like if you broadcast that to me in 10 different ways, whatever message it is, one of them is eventually going to get through and start. That worm is going to start plowing through my brain.
Yeah. Well, it's about making people or the consumer, right, think that what you're telling them is their idea.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Because if you can make it to where it's like, oh no, it's my idea. I do want to go out and buy a Dodge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's then you're at a better
let's say anyone who voluntarily buys a Dodge truck is not really a good person. They're the type of person like, I'm getting a good truck that people respect me. No. People who buy Dodge trucks willingly, they're not, you're a joke as a human being.
I just read the statistic for a vehicle with the highest amount of DUIs, Dodge 2500.
I'm right.
I knew it. You know, it is kind of like normally whatever big truck just like zips by me going 80 on a windy country road.
It's a Dodge.
It's a Dodge.
I can guarantee that person driving that Dodge does not have, I would say, modern views on race either. So
this was like years ago. I don't think they had a truck. I can't remember if it was a Dodge or not, but just to that comment, I gotten stuck. I drove a little, Kia Rio, and we were going down to a river somewhere in Barney, and the car got stuck. It was flooded. I was like, I don't know if I can make it
You
through
try to
that.
fucking hydroplane across it or some shit.
No. I tried to back the car up, and it's a steep incline.
Yeah.
And then whenever I came back down, it got stuck.
Don't right there.
Yeah. So my nose kind of got stuck in the dirt. So the next day, I mean, it's all like just like you can't see the car from the road or anything.
Yeah.
The next day, we're down there like, all right, let's see if we can dig it out or something. And this guy pulls up. And he's like, hey, me and my girl about to go fishing. I can pull you out of there. Let me get a chain. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, thank you. He's like, you want to come down here with us and we'll have a beer? I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. That sounds good. So I'm just being friendly and hospitable. This guy, a stranger, just like helped me out. He and his girl and their kid, and I'm sitting there talking with them, and then out of nowhere, he's like, you know, the Bible says that a man with brown skin is not as
I was about to
holy
fucking
as...
ask you. Have you read Mein Kampf?
I was just like, No, I wasn't aware of that.
Thanks for the beer.
Yeah, it was about. I think I waited about like 4 minutes before I was just like, well, listen, man, like I'm gonna go ahead and walk back on up to the car because it's been a He's like, oh, I bet it's been a long night. He ain't had the car yet. I'm like, oh, thank God he's buying it.
What type of person just brings that up with a stranger? Like
The same time that goes
Drives a Dodge.
it's got a Hemi. No, you're a retard. It doesn't matter.
The only facial hair they have is just the chin.
Just the chin. Yeah.
Just the chin.
Oh.
Ooh.
Couple of gray hairs in it.
Oh man.
Little backy juice in the corner of the lip right there.
Stay away from Lindsay.
Yeah. That's daddy's pussy. You think I'm gonna raise a daughter just to have her go off with another man?
This is Dodge country.
Oh man.
No,
I actually don't know. I don't think I do know anybody that like has a Dodge truck. Like, I mean, I've had a Jeep before, like a Jeep Wrangler.
Jeeps are fine. Like you get a fucking like a Wrangler. What's the fucking 4-door Jeep?
The Rubicon?
Four-board Jeep, I think.
That's
is
what's
what
it
they
called.
It's that Gladiator truck.
Yeah, the Gladiator with that fucking Hellcat motor in it.
Oh,
That bitch is fucking nice.
they put a Hellcat in that thing?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Ways
to kill
is it an
yourself.
actual Jeep? Is it an actual Jeep?
Yeah, it's a 4-door. It's called Gladiator. It's a 4-door Wrangler.
Right.
And you can
It's got a
order,
bed.
Yes,
So
you
it's
can
a little
order it.
extended.
with,
The wheelbase is a little bit longer. It's kind of ugly to me. Everybody's different. A little ugly to me.
Yeah, they're ugly. The only they look ugly just with the regular street shit on it.
Yeah.
When you fix them up, I think they look great.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to spend. You're spending $80,000.
Yeah. That's how I like doing the fucking Hellcat and all that type of shit. That's the way. Like that's too much engine for that car.
That's a lot. Yeah, I think Dodge is maybe on the lower end of the price spectrum too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. If you've had a few DUIs, your pocketbook's a little
Yeah, a little thin on that one. You only pay $10,000 so many times for your Dodge.
Yeah, I guess I gotta get a Dodge.
Now, like I'm not saying if all you can afford is a Dodge, you're a bad person.
Yeah,
But you need to have better standards for yourself.
especially with their new ad campaign. If you can't dodge the protest, ram it. I mean, that's fucked up.
It is what it is.
Was that when Biden gave his not the concession? That means you concede. What's it? Whenever you accept his acceptance speech, I guess when he won. He like runs out on stage.
That fucking grandpa shuffle. You're like, please God don't fall. Please God don't fall. Please God don't fall.
They just shot him full of adrenochrome and cocaine,
Yeah.
and just like, go, Mr. President.
Do the grandpa shuffle out there.
True, not a shot of depression.
He's bathed in pure glucosamine. Joints fully lubricated.
8-9 pounds of fucking collagen.
Yeah.
He came out and he had there's nobody there, but it was like brand new like Dodge and Jeep vehicles.
Yeah. Speaking of product placement,
Yeah.
it was Fred's Dodge and Jeep dealership. We'd love to support you, Mr. Biden. Bringing out there and honking.
That's so odd. Like his like rallies, like nobody was ever at.
No,
and I get that like a lot of his supporters believe in the Zoom call Christmas kind of stuff.
But still, you're talking about even like when Trump came through. Okay, like Trump, don't like Trump. He's a sitting president, and to see a sitting president in person is very rare for a normal person. And it's like, one time I saw a president, regardless of who it is. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have cared to see Obama or Bush or Clinton or whatever. It's like I saw a sitting president up close. I saw him speak one time at a speech. But for nobody on the... I remember Bill Clinton, he campaigned through Valdosta. Trump campaigned that time in Valdosta.
Mm-hmm. I didn't go see him either time. I thought it would... This last time I was tempted to, but I was... I think the night before I performed or something, and I was just like exhausted. I was like, I don't want to be around like all those people. And
I don't like being around a whole lot of folks to begin with. I don't like going to Walmart. Virus or no virus, I don't like going to Walmart. I damn sure ain't going to the grocery store on a Saturday. At lunchtime, it's not happening.
Right.
So I didn't go to either of the Trump things. I didn't want to be dealing with any of the traffic, but I don't know where we were going with that.
We were talking about the crowds and
but Biden, like you said, people might be more scared of the virus or whatever with the Biden constituency, but nobody's there. 100 people maybe, sometimes 20.
Yeah, even less than that.
And I think half of those are paid staffers.
Probably so.
Out there, in the crowd clapping.
Yeah.
That one where Obama stumped for him for a minute, and he called out Biden, and Biden didn't even know he was hearing his name, and he's like looking at the school bus facing the opposite direction from Obama, and Obama's having to holler at him through the microphone. I mean, there's nobody in the crowd.
The man's obviously also mental decline.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't want to be there. He's even said that. With his, I know politicians are actors to a certain degree, but I think you tell the truth through lies. I think that's kind of how they get by, But he's like, look, man, I didn't even want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet he did not, but he's a company man. That's the way the DNC is successful, is they're loyal. They are loyal to that organization through and through.
Look at the primaries. Kamala separate. Maybe dipped out just because she had no support. Okay, before even the Iowa caucus.
Tulsi Gabbard fucking destroyed her ass.
On stage, that's why they didn't invite Tulsi back. Yeah, I think they invited her back for one more, but they had three more.
Yes, But like Pete, Liz Warren, Klobuchar, there's somebody else I'm forgetting in there. Maybe two folks.
Cory Booker.
Bernie, of course, but. Pete, Andrew Yang, they all towed that line, and they gave Pete the Secretary of Transportation job. Liz Warren so far has been denied because I think you could tell she's clearly a liar. She'll do whatever. Mm-hmm.
Why would an Indian American do that?
Honest people. But they resigned or stepped down from the race at certain times that were very convenient. The same with Liz Warren, stayed in there long enough to get the quote unquote progressive votes to take some away from Bernie.
Progressive female voters, primarily
to keep Bernie from going forward, whether he would have or not, whether he would have bowed out at the very end for.
They would never gave it to Bernie.
Yeah. They did not want Bernie.
He cucked the first time around, you know what I mean? And that's why the second time around, I was like, well, one, I'm not because I gave money to Bernie in 2016. I was like, one, there is no way I'm voting for the DNC like candidate again. And two, it sure as hell is not going to be Bernard Sanders. Like, he's sold out. You can't run on a populist platform and then endorse the establishment candidate afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to lose about a third of your voters.
And he pulled in all that money from people from the populist side. The $2 donations or $5 donations or what, people that should not be giving money to any political campaign, especially a federal one, maybe a local whatever, to help them buy some signs or whatever. But those people shouldn't be giving any money out. They need to keep their money. And just taking it and like just intermediary and then just giving it to Hillary the first time and giving it to Biden the second time.
You're never going to see a populist Democratic candidate because, like, the DNC is the corporate. Well, and the GOP is too, but like the DNC is really the corporate class. Like, they're going to play nice and say, talk about free health care and all that other shit. When it comes time to put the rubber to the road, they're not going to fucking do it.
Yeah,
and neither is GOP. Like, they're all owned by the fucking oligarchs. Really, that's just not going to mean.
Well, I think Trump broke the GOP to where now culturally, like, you have like this notion of where more libertarian or old school Republican values, where like live, let live, get the fuck off my land, like type stuff. Where that I think has now become the ego of the right side of the aisle, the rural America. On the left, I think that they're having a problem because they keep voting for these people, and then they keep trying to use insurgency to remove the people they voted for. You know what I mean? Like, and until they have leadership on the left that is like, hey, we can take our populist movement and do something on our own. They had the chance with that. Bernie could have done that in 2016. Again, he still would have lost, but Trump still would have won, like, regardless, you know what I mean? But it would have set this precedent of, and particularly for the left, to show that, hey, we can form our own party. But it more so would have shown for the populist America, like, hey, like, the two-party system is not necessarily the best way to go about doing this.
I'm kind of interested to see what the 2024 election looks like, because it's going to be Kamala Harris, because Biden's going to step down or die. I don't see him making it in 2024. Anyway, dead or alive.
What do you think would happen, like, if he dies before he's inaugurated? Kamala does not win.
She does not automatically, as far as the law goes.
Yeah.
There will be a push for her to be the interim.
I know there would be, but, like, if...
The legal.
Yeah, like the precedent for it is, it does not go to the vice president elect. Like I
wonder if you have another election.
That's what I think is supposed to happen. Is that it would either go to the candidate with the next amount of votes, which would be the orange idiot, or
the orangutan in the room.
And I think half of what he's done with the you can talk about rig elections or whatever, but half of what he's done pushing everything for all these lawsuits and all that is trying to get back for all the Russia shit he went through the previous 3 years. That's part of it.
I think he knows without a shadow that he lost the election free and clear. There was something that came out like a couple weeks after he lost. Like, he's really just doing this to show that, like, I fought for all of you. That's why he's doing this. Yeah. He knows he has no chance in hell of getting into this, but it's like, I fought for you, and I'm gonna come back 24 and fight for you. Get 2024 and fight for you again.
Well, at first, like for the first month or whatever, I don't know how long it's been. It could have been 10 days. I don't know. But what was interesting to me was Kamala. Normally, okay, you win and you're a senator. And I'm resigning from my seat on the Senate because we need to get somebody else in there. And she never made that announcement as far as I know.
She still hasn't.
And to me, that was saying, okay, they still don't have everything concrete yet. Like, maybe there is something to all these legal proceedings. Again, not saying such and such is rigged, because like you said, I agree, there's election impropriety every election. It doesn't matter who
it's never enough to really move the needle.
It happens usually on, like, smaller levels. You know what I mean? Because like, you try to do something like the presidency, you have to have a big corporate
Yeah.
level conglomerate. Like,
Or a
have
central system voting machine.
Yeah, one banking cartel and one dedicated room of servers.
And everybody forgot, or maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm making shit up. But wasn't the same thing happening in 2000 with the Diebold machines? Like, oh, they're hacked. And this time it's Dominion. Oh, they're hacked. But
that's the reason.
But this time I bought the machines, and he bought the machines last time.
Yeah.
And I think that might be part of why they don't want any of these lawsuits to actually go to court or go to discovery, because they'll find out that so and so, they did it last time.
Yeah.
Now it's our turn.
And then everybody's complicit.
Yeah. Then everybody's screwed.
If there's no faith in the government and the voting process, then everything collapses. It just disintegrates.
I was so close to that anyway.
We are. That's again. I think that's a good reason about like where we're at geographically.
Yeah, I went out and,
because everybody down here has guns.
That's one of the things I did for the elections. I got really panicky and went out and bought something I really didn't need to buy. For
Flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly.
A Bose stereo. Can you believe how big it sounds? It's so small.
Bose wave radio.
It's got these chambers. It's got this acoustic chamber.
We have no food.
Think how great this sounds, though.
But by the way, Bose, if you're listening, we'll gladly promote any of your fine products. Noise canceling headphones.
But then, like, after the reality of buying it, I had this thing that I could use for other things on the farm, like shooting coyotes and shit like that. That like really
slingshot.
Some good slingshot, an atlatl. You know that?
Yeah. Oh man. They worked for a few thousand years.
Yeah, they're good now. I mean,
I'm a traditionalist.
But then, like, I realized thinking, like, I live in fucking Lakeland, Georgia. Like, I literally know everybody. Everybody knows me. Like, there's not going to be roving bands of Antifa coming down my street. Like,
no, they'll starve and fight them. And I believe this. If bonkers.
Fucking cats are crazy, man.
If
That's why he's bonkers.
If the fucking Powerball hits of crazy odds and there's just roving bands of anything going on, the government's the armies dissolved, the government's dissolved. These people in these big cities are going to starve.
They're going to be fucked
very fast.
I think they're going to just start shooting each other.
Yeah.
Like, you already start seeing, like, a tiny glimpse of that, like, over the summer when all the shit was going down. There was one, I forget where it was at, it may have been Minneapolis, but is this dad and his two girls are in, like, a, what was it? It was like a two-door Saturn or something, like those big, heavy doors.
Yeah.
And there's, like, this group of people just sort of surround the car. He's in a parking lot. They're like, sir, you're in her car. You need to get out. And they all just start like knocking, trying to open the door. No. And the little girl's like, Dad, I'm scared. He's like, don't open the door. And then a guy comes over and he starts actually smashing the window and shit.
You know what always gets me about those situations is like they surround a car with people in it. The people surround the car, run over, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, why do you run us over?" It's like,
arrest him!
Yeah.
Call the police! But this, after he gets away from them in the parking lot, they hop on bikes, on like motorcycles, and start chasing him through traffic.
That's gonna happen in city. Like, I lived in like,
it's some Mad Max shit, dude.
If I lived in like Atlanta or fucking LA, San Francisco, any big major fucking metro, I'd be gone. I'm out.
That's why the housing market's gone insane. One of the reasons.
Yeah.
One, the Fed kept the rates low, dropped the rates a lot the past couple years. So you're talking you can get 3% rate right now. Yeah. Even if you got spotted credit history, everybody's been at home, so they're doing these home renovations or whatever. But all these folks are getting out of the city and building these new homes, and housing market's gone insane. And that's kept a lot of people from being jobless, like a lot of people from being jobless. And if you did lose a job, you could find something in construction, doing something to make ends meet. So that, but what these going back like the roving bands, these people are burning down their CVS's, they're burning down their Walgreens. I hadn't seen them burn
Walmart.
they're looting Walmart. I hadn't seen them burn down a grocery store, but they're burning down everything that gives them items they need in their town.
I remember there was a black mother. It was like inner city somewhere, and like she's walking, like she had to go to Walmart to get food for her kids, and they like a couple hours before that, a gang of people were there and like looted everything and threw, and not only just like took stuff, but threw shit all over the floor.
Yes, just smashed.
Just
it.
being like, she was like, "You're doing this to your own community."
Yeah. And they're like, they got insurance, they'll rebuild it, and it's like, no,
Not necessarily here.
If Fred's keeps building a building over here and it keeps getting destroyed
Or looted and burned down. Yeah.
and it's like they're gonna quit building a store there because the profits don't add up to keep rebuilding it.
They're not. It's not a law. They have to give you a grocery store there.
No. Well, Tim Pool had talked about something a couple months ago about where these trucks were getting like looted on bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Where he was like,
go in.
Yeah, he's like, you know what's going to happen? Is that these truck drivers a lot of times they take these contracts independently, and they're going to say like, you need to go into that city. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a broker.
Not safe.
Yeah. Again, Fred owns a truck brokerage, and
Fred has a lot going on.
Fred's cool. He's got a screen in front of him, and Dollar General calls him and says, "We need stuff from Charmin Paper Mill moved to L.A." Charmin Paper Mill from Arizona moved to L.A. I don't know why there's a paper mill in Arizona because of all the trees there.
There's a thriving timber industry there.
But it goes up on a board, and the route may be $500, and there's a little bit of money there for the broker. Well, after X amount of hours, $525, $550, $600,
Keeps going up.
and eventually, like you said, I'm not going in there because it's not worth me dying. I'm not going that way.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to risk getting my brain smashed at the center block so people can wipe their ass in L.A.
Well, no, especially whenever you're seeing this trend of like not holding people accountable because they're part of the mob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where though, like there was this one guy who he and his dad owned a small business, and his dad got into an altercation with a couple of fellas outside the shop.
Yeah.
And then the son stepped in to try to defuse it, and the guy kept attacking.
Yeah.
And the son even showed him look, I've got a gun on me.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
And the DA said that was a threat. He was threatening him.
Yeah. And so
the brandishing.
Yeah. So whenever he attacked again, and then he used his weapon and discharged it and killed the guy. Then they charged him with first-degree murder.
Yeah.
Then he killed himself.
Yeah, because the store got looted later.
Yeah.
And going through all that, he was he domed himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, because that was it. He was going to prison. He lost his business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lost everything.
He was a vet. On top of that.
Yeah, and the system, the judicial system, didn't have his back.
Yeah, no.
You know, that's
what's worrisome also and alarming is some of these decisions again with the election, whatever. I can't influence any of it, so I'm not spending brain energy over it. But some of their decisions over it have been we're so scared of the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. We're so scared of, investigating the election or opening up that can of worms. We're afraid of all these cities being burned to the ground that we're not even going to go there. Yeah. So that, the fear of that.
Didn't John Roberts actually say that?
Yeah. That came out from after a meeting, and it was whoever was in the meeting reported that's one of the reasons why they didn't open up whatever they were going to open up.
I don't really disagree with that.
Yeah, but that sets some precedent over, are we going to let mob rule, dictate decisions? Because some of this stuff, you see these videos of whatever going on, somebody getting shot, pulled out of a truck and shot. And the mob rule wants to go in and immediately exact justice. when you didn't see the whole video, you don't know what's going on, and if you let mob rule, yeah, you just go in there and execute all these people, kind of like the Chaz situation, where those two guys got shot and killed.
It was two black teenagers.
Yeah.
19 and 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Execution style too. Not like they just shot the car up and they crashed. They crashed the car. They got out. A fucking white kid walked up and executed them.
Yeah.
And then they tried to like kind of
they just
ran the propaganda. It was white supremacists.
Yeah. That's a good way to sort of diffuse anybody from critiquing it.
Yeah.
Normally white people from critiquing it.
Well, the mayor
you know what I mean?
the mayor didn't want to do shit about the Chaz until they went to his fucking house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
The last year has done, and I hate using the fucking red pill, blue pill analogy, but like it is real red pilled so many fucking people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To like, these people who are ruling us and looking after us aren't ruling fairly, and they aren't looking after us.
No, they're going to do whatever the gang with pitchforks wants them to do, because the folks with pitchforks will kill them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said about the testicular and ovarian fortitude that it takes to be an insurgent, you know, because like you're literally saying that like, well, I think that the system is so flawed that I'm willing to sacrifice my livelihood, my freedom, my country, my identity as an individual in some circumstances where they're collectivists, insurgents, in order to hold these people accountable. However, this same area has, again, been electing the same management over and over and over again. If your city is in peril, which most cities in 2020 have been in peril at least once this year.
In peril for like years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's exacerbated with all the pandemic hubbub. But most of these cities have been dominated by the same political organization over and over again. You know, like Newark has been voting blue for, I think, 30 or 40 years. Like, if your city has not prospered in 30 or 40 years...
something's not going right.
Yeah.
It's not going your way.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, because the politicians are making money. So they had in one of the COVID packages, as I was going to say earlier, a raise for Congress. It was with the $600. It was like a $25 million raise for Congress. So everyone in Congress would get an extra $57,000.
Well, they've been suffering too.
They had to work late that one weekend.
Yeah.
Once you get enough folks and feel like they truly have nothing left to lose, and they're still of sound body, you know, they still have the gift of youth.
Somebody's gonna die.
Their
Like, it's
body.
gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the same thing with the homeless people. You know, if they're 30 years old, you know, quote unquote homeless, you don't fuck with them. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You don't mess with them.
Yeah.
Any person, any animal, any living thing that can hurt you that has nothing to
Well, the homeless
lose,
person,
you
like-
don't mess with it.
If you just say you try to assault them, they can just kill you and go to jail and have free hots in the cot the rest of their life.
Yeah.
If they get caught.
If they get caught, yeah.
That's another like problem in itself, right? Like especially out west, like LA County, like their homeless population it's the population of the city of Valdosta. Like it's like 60,000 people.
Well, here's like the hilarious thing, like, you know, let's use LA for an example, especially like the height of metropolitan life and whatever, and they have like medieval disease outbreaks. Like typhoid and shit.
Yeah. They had the what was it, Black Death or bubonia. I'm not sure what the bubonic plague actual disease.
Yeah,
bubonia sounds fancy.
It's also a place.
This is my girlfriend Katya. She's from Bubonia.
We're like,
how exotic!
They're pooping on the street. They got hepatitis outbreaks.
Yeah, like San Francisco has apps that show you where the poop floods are.
Yeah,
it's like this is where Silicon Valley is. Like, and you have shit floods. Like,
you pay $2,000 a month for 4 square feet.
Yeah.
Well, they have these like they'll have rules where it's like in places of California where theft isn't a crime unless they steal more than $950 from you.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Like, there's videos of like people just going into like Walgreens to like the the makeup aisle and just putting stuff in a bag, grabbing clothes, putting them in a bag.
Got a calculator to make sure you don't go over.
Yeah.
And then just walk right out the front door. And the management's like trying to stop them, and they're like
Well,
if
no, they do anything, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or if somebody breaks in your house in the middle of the night, the only reason these people, everybody's getting hurt in these burglaries, cause the homeowners, shooting them. It's like, just let them take whatever they need. They probably need it more than you. It's like, no, this is mine. Stay away.
Yeah, that's the big problem I have with collectivist ideology is you have to be able to have the ability and the right to say, this is mine.
Yeah.
You can't have any of it.
And middle of the night, you don't know what somebody's coming in your house for.
I'm not there to talk with them rationally.
No, especially if you've got kids or a spouse or whatever. You don't know.
The last thing I want to do at 2 a.m. is discuss the merits of property rights in my underwear.
Yeah.
In the dark with a stranger.
Yeah.
In my living room.
Yeah, 3 a.m. is not exactly my most diplomatic hour, Fuck. Jeez, man. So Nashville. Yeah. What's this breaking news?
So I haven't investigated a lot. Okay. So, the address for that building is, I want to say 333.
That's the AT&T building, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The address for the place is 333. That whatever street it's on, and it's got 33 stories to it, which is both Christian and Masonic numbers.
Right. This is the 33rd episode.
Yeah. Ooh. The building, I haven't looked, but the screenshots I saw, when you go to Google Maps, the building is kind of blurred out on the ground level of the Google Maps. Some people think, since it's an AT&T building, they think it's a big telecommunication node that the NSA might use, because the data gathering and all that coming in there. Who knows what equipment's in there? But that's what I saw, and maybe somebody knows that, and got a crazy idea, like a Timothy McVeigh style.
Yeah, I think it's domestic. I don't think it's foreign.
Yeah, like a Timothy McVeigh, federal building, a stab against the government.
Yeah.
Or this may be a stab against the big data collection.
That's what I thought.
Centers.
It's like, it was such a fucking weird.
This is somebody posted, I think, on Twitter with to show that they think it was an underground explosion, and that the RV, well, it may have been used to transport something that was not holding the explosives.
Well, they experienced widespread outages the rest of the day. AT&T customers. So an explosion on the outside, to me, doesn't, unless I guess stuff could happen to equipment, but doesn't shut down these nodes.
On the outside, why would you have like a server node in the middle of downtown Nashville like that?
Your server room would have to be protected, especially if you're at that kind of level, right? Like AT&T, this provider was.
Most times they put their shit out away from town in like its own facility. Like it's not like in a building next to a theater.
Well, even, like if you go to Austin, there are I don't even know what you call them. The oil pumps, and it looks like a big
derrick.
Yeah, it looks like a big hammer going up and down. There are those inside the city, except there are buildings that look like normal buildings built around it.
Yeah.
So you don't see them. If you were to walk in the door, you hear going on. That's going on, and the same with this. Probably hidden in plain sight type of deal. Who knows how many of those type places they have? I know. A guy at work was talking way before this, telling me years ago that they were driving through some part of Augusta, and there was some, just brick building, nondescript brick building, but it had all these fucking antennas on it. And the guy he was with was some military guy that was fairly high up. And when I say fairly high up, he's not newly enlisted 19-year-old. He had some officer designation, whatever. And he said that's a NSA or whatever building. A lot of phone calls in America get routed through there, and they're not necessarily listening to your phone call, but they're listening for keywords or phrases. And when something comes through and pops up, it goes bing and shoots it over here. And then Fred, he's in there also, and Fred starts reading.
Fred's very well versed on the trucking.
And Fred starts, reading your dialogue or whatever. So it's not that we're listening to every phone call. Technically, we are. We're not maybe reading all of them. But when you say, what's that? Anthrax. They got to see if you're talking about the band. Ian Scott or whatever his name is. I can't remember.
I never got into Anthrax.
Yeah. But the thing of having an alarm, like what was weird? Okay, somebody called in, shots fired. So
multiple witnesses talking onto news TV also about hearing shots fired and then being evacuated from their apartment. I saw an interview this morning.
So like you got the reports of shot fire. So the cops going to show up with dash cams. So somebody wanted the people to see it. Mm-hmm. Then you've got a very just creepy, ominous, warning.
If you can hear this message, evacuate.
So that makes
now.
me think the person doing this does not want to cause bodily harm to people or harm American citizens.
Yeah,
they're striking out against big government, deep state, whatever.
Right.
Which that makes me think I'm pretty sure they know who this is already.
Yeah,
they have to.
Yeah,
probably could be
then what's all this fucking surveillance shit good for if you can't catch somebody blowing a fucking RV up in downtown Nashville?
Well, because then they'll say we need to have better surveillance. We don't have it good enough, so then you heighten the police state.
Yeah,
I mean, fucking really. I have two echoes in my house. They already listen to me sing fucking my humps off my lungs. What else do they fucking need?
With the CIA partnering with Amazon Web Services to use their internet backbone, and it's some sort of two-way street there.
Yeah.
And they're just not using it to send emails back and forth.
My Alexa sometimes just fires up and says shit for no fucking reason.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, Alex, you being creepy, girl. Be quiet.
All these phones.
Yeah, all fucking phones. Everybody went through they're gonna chip us. I'm like, I don't have to fucking chip you.
Yeah.
You've been voluntarily chipped for 10 years now.
Now, whenever they get rid of your phone.
Yeah.
Before they do that, they're gonna chip you, and then they'll make your phone obsolete in some way.
Yeah.
It's all about incremental authoritarianism.
Yeah, just climbing the ladder, rung by rung, climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
Well, the IMF, I think Merrill Lynch also came out. With all these big defense managers, they're always kind of trying to push China's social internet credit stuff. You walk around with your phone, do everything you want to, but. Well, let's say you become a
Blackwater. That's the big financier that.
Blackwater's a mercenary group.
BlackRock, yeah.
Which ties back into the Saturn Black Cube stuff. BlackRock. So you can go down that one.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the big institutions, whether they're financial or informational, they all have this odd Saturn symbology with them. The chevrons and the cubes and the crescent moons or the stars or the crosses.
Yeah.
They
all tie back in with Saturn.
Guys, secret societies died out 500 years ago. None of this stuff is going on anymore.
They say the Jewish star. So if you take a cube and you look at it from an isometric angle, that's got a certain shape to it, and that's what the inside of the Jewish star supposedly is that black cube pivot on its side. So you got Mecca, which
is the cube,
which is that big black cube. You've got a few other black cube building or sculptures scattered around.
Yeah,
just a coincidence, guys.
There's that one Jewish hat. I'm not sure if it's a certain sect or whatever, but it's got a little black cube out here on the brim.
Yeah. That's like the super orthodoxes.
Yeah. Hey, bonkers.
Yeah, like the
look
at a cube like that.
Yeah.
And it's
did you draw that real quick?
I did.
Look at you.
And then it's a 6-pointed star.
Yeah.
So you would have go. Dear, how's it go? Dear parent, dear parent.
You're not really doing it justice.
That's the Jew star, right? Did I mention I'm an artist?
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, what were we talking about before? The Saturn symbol. The
Nashville bomb.
yeah, and the Black Rock. How they've like these money systems. Like I think that's why there's such this hubbub about Hong Kong, is because Hong Kong is not tied to the Chinese banking cartel.
Yeah.
It's tied to the British banking cartel.
Yeah. Western money.
Yeah. And it's like the Hong Kong, I think, is the only. You good, Bonks?
Yeah. And it's like they're always looking how can they monetize something? How can they monetize this? How can they start extracting wealth from this? How can we create a rating for this?
Mm-hmm. Well, and like information has become as valuable as like oil was like back in the day. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like the argument that like the data is like is part of the fourth industrial revolution, like with oil and trains and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, but now it's like completely unregulated, and like really knowing the government's stepping in to regulate and protect your data, because they're using it to fucking see what you're doing too. So
they're also the government's always going to be behind the entrepreneur or whatever word you want to call to somebody that's originally in the market.
Fred, we'll call him Fred.
Yeah, Fred. Fred started getting all this data from the apps and whatever else and packaged them and selling them to other companies, selling this data. And government's always going to be behind on legislation. Same thing with like some of the early rights acts or whatever to digital media, music, what you're entitled to, what's yours, and what is the production companies and stuff like that. I know there's been some, what do you call them, lawsuits or just challenges to that, how artists get compensated.
Yeah.
Especially with like say Spotify or Apple Music or any of these streaming services.
They get like pennies.
Yeah, or fractions of pennies.
Yeah, fractions of pennies. Yeah, the Nashville stuff though, like it the same day in their local newspaper, they had somebody took out a 2-page ad or a full-page ad, one of the two, that was essentially an op-ed that talked about how there was going to be a nuke or a bomb, a terror attack from a religious zealot group in Nashville, and to be on the lookout for that. I don't think that that's the case, because religious zealots want to kill people. They want to send people to damnation. You know what I mean?
Any of the French attacks the past few years, the Charlie Hebdo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like zealots want you to know who it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they take credit for it. You know. This seems like you said that, like with this message that was being broadcast out, like that they did not necessarily want to hurt people. And again, if this seems like that this bomb may have gone off underground or like inside of this building somewhere, then this seems like a hit job where they want to take down whatever
that was.
Yeah. Well, that one eyewitness account I saw this morning said after he got evacuated from his apartment, he went across the river because he wasn't real sure where to go. He just wanted to get away from where he was at, and saw the explosion. And when people estimate heights, they're always off. But he was talking about flames and stuff being 300 feet high. And some of the video I saw, the fireball from it, it's not like a poof and then it's burning smoke. It's not anywhere close to that Beirut explosion, but
that was fucking insane.
It's a large fireball, and it screws up the irises on those cameras for its light detection and stuff for a few seconds.
Yeah, it was like 20 seconds on the CCTV where it was whited out.
So I'm not some explosive expert, but like I would think that most domestic terrorists are going to use fertilizer.
Yeah, fertilizer and diesel.
Yeah, and that did not really look like a fertilizer bomb. Because they burn real dirty.
The Beirut one or the Nashville one?
Nashville one. The Beirut one was in fact a fertilizer.
Yeah, that just looked like it vaporized everything, just like
huge concussion.
Yeah,
like the moisture in the air, like getting burned and just broken out of the air molecules.
Yeah,
that was probably the most insane things I've seen in my lifetime.
Well, just because of like all the like footage.
Yeah.
Like you had the guy on the boat.
Yeah.
That like you see it coming.
Yeah.
And then that shockwave, man.
Fuck.
Like it's the Nashville thing. What also makes me go is the mayor comes out. And he's talking about it, and he laughs. He's like, "Well, I hope there's not another explosion."
Yeah, I hope this should be the only explosion we get today. It's like, are you here? Are you present, dude?
Are you still drunk from last night?
Yeah.
Did you get too heavy in the egg?
I'm just so happy to be away from my wife and kids on Christmas. Oh God, you guys don't know what this means to me.
Yeah.
They did find remains in the explosion, though.
I've heard that.
One person.
Well, I mean, it makes me think about like the gunfire that's being reported. Is like, what if those folks that were inside and they were just executing security? That
could have been. If you said there was remains in there, I wonder, or if there was a guy just taking pot shots from the RV.
Yeah.
If he was in the RV to get people up and awake, maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole
I guarantee you this would be memory hold like the fucking the Vegas shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the Vegas shooting that was weird too is that like, they had all the body cam footage, and the LVPD refused to turn it over at first. They're like, "Why are you refusing to turn over your cops' body cam footage?"
Yeah.
And then they were given a court order to say like, you have to turn this over, like it's evidence. It's the most brutal mass shooting in American history.
The pictures from the hotel room where the bodies were strewn about and where the guns were laying, I remember that being odd.
Well, they're in when they started slowly releasing the footage because they refused to give it all over at once. Which, I mean, in devil's advocate, I understand that there's probably a fair amount of data from all those cops' body cam footage to turn over. But there was, while the shooting was going on, the Las Vegas Police Department, they're in their riot gear, and they're in the hotel, in the conduit, the hallway of the stairs, like the stairwell, just standing. And you hear the gunfire happening, and they're just sort of like waiting.
Yeah.
Like being told like, okay, engage.
Yeah.
There's another scene where they're in a Paddock's room, right? And they're looking around. The one guy goes across the hall to the other room, and there's folks apparently just sleeping in there. And they're like, "You guys okay?" They're like, "Huh? Oh yeah, we're fine." He's like, "Okay, well there's a shooting." They're like, "Oh yeah, we're okay, thanks." Like odd stuff going about.
What's like? What do you think happened? One of my favorite ones. There's two of them. One of them, he was an arms dealer for the CIA, and that he was meeting like Al Qaeda types there.
Well, ISIS took credit for it.
And then they
not
found,
say they
found
did
out,
it, but
they found out that he was intelligence, and they killed him. And they went, instead of like taking the guns out, they just, why not now?
Yeah.
One I saw was they were trying to execute one of the Saudi princes, and I don't know how he was related to that. Maybe like he was presenting himself as an arms dealer, and once the faction or whatever, it slipped to the Audi prince that he was about to get got, and that's one of the videos from like in the lobby area. You see a man getting escorted out by police. That might be him. The hit target getting out of there, and then the group that was trying to kill him got found out. And
they shot Paddock, and then they're like, well, gotta retaliate.
So. Or some odd situation.
There's another thing is that I'm not a fucking like. The only guns I'm really familiar with are like shotguns and rifles, like bolt action rifles. I don't know shit about semi-automatic weapons that much. But I've heard arguments say that gun that he's using is not like a AR-15 with a bump stock. It's probably like an MT-40 or something like that, like a actual 5.56 machine gun that's shooting all that. So.
Oh, that 249.
Yeah, 249. Yeah.
Well, there's other weird stuff with it as well. Like the day afterwards, like there was stuff that was going on in the Benghazi trial that like didn't get covered at all because the news feed was clogged with it. The same thing happened with the WikiLeaks documents, the emails being released, and the Pulse massacre happened on the same day as well. So nobody was talking about WikiLeaks; they're all talking about the Pulse massacre.
And wasn't the shooter at Pulse? Wasn't his father an intelligence? Or he was with the FBI, or like he was.
I think so.
He was,
and then his son got radicalized in religion.
And had made multiple trips
to the
Boston,
Middle East. Shooter guys, Boston bomber. What was it?
Takazar.
Yes, they were.
Shakar.
They were FBI informants.
Yeah, the one brother had made multiple. The older brother that got killed had made multiple trips to the Middle East as well.
So cheapers, man.
And we, I
think a lot of those guys that get quote unquote radicalized are by FBI agents on the other end of the computer, like just stoking the fires, and that's how they get hooked up with weapons, and maybe a similar mindset, similar program with the Fast and Furious program down in Mexico when Obama had all the guns get bought because they wanting to trace where the guns went, and they screwed up and like either lost track of the guns or didn't mark them with serial numbers how they wanted to.
Yeah, how do you fucking track weapons through underground arms deals to cartels?
When you would find them after another incident happened.
What a fucking barbaric way to do that shit.
I think it's just one of those ways to change money from one hand to another hand, and you can use criminals criminal organizations by proxy, and then you have plausible deniability.
You like how this cartel played ball with you a little bit, and so you help them rather than some of these other guys that really hate your guts. And so you'll keep these guys in good charge. Charge.
Look at the fucking cartels. They're like fully militarized now. Like they drive around with trucks with like 50 cows. And full military get up and
they can combat the own Mexican government.
They went and got fucking Chapo's son. And like the fucking guy was like, all right, he's all yours.
It's. And I'm sure there's numerous reasons as to why that is, but I would think one of the reasons is that in Mexico to get a firearm you have to go to Mexico City. Like you can't. So if you're in like Baja California in the peninsula, like you have to be able to afford to not only buy a gun but to make the trip down to DF.
The pilgrimage.
The Hajj. I think that's what it's called in Islam. But like that, Mexico's not too different from America as far as like culture. It's still in a mixture of European, Afro, and indigenous American cultures. You know what I mean? But
as an aside, that probably the coolest thing is like working like with immigrants is like you actually get to hear the different dialects from different regions. Like you have people that like live in like the city of Mexico, their Spanish is completely different. People live out in the rural areas, their Spanish is a completely different thing. People from Guatemala that live in the mountains that come down, they might as well be speaking Indian, like Native American.
Totally different.
It's like little sprinkles of Spanish with like what you'd hear in a teepee somewhere.
Right.
It's crazy, and like the people from Mexico City have no fucking clue what they're saying. That's crazy.
When I was in Jersey, I worked with 6 or 7 dudes that were immigrants, and two or three of them were from Guatemala, and one of them was from Mexico City, and then 2 of them were from Oaxaca. And Oaxaca is on the southwestern part of Mexico, on the mainland, not on the peninsula. And he said that Spanish was their second language, that their indigenous tongue was their first language. He would tell the servers that they were speaking Japanese. Because it kind of sounds like Japanese, but it's like it sounds like a wanahashana.
Shamanic tongue.
And so they would, whenever they wanted to keep secrets from the other quote unquote Mexicans. Like they would speak. He called it Miztecan. He said it's a mixture of different indigenous languages that they speak at home. I was like, damn man, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
You speak 3 languages.
Yeah, speak 3 languages. My dumb ass can barely speak one.
Yeah, it like it's I don't know. I think it's fascinating, but the like a lot of those cats, they got out of Mexico because like the government and the cartels have been having this war with each other for like decades.
Yeah. Watch Narcos on the Netflix. They chronicles the whole fucking history of that shit. Like it's been going on for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're just stuck.
Yeah.
You're just stuck.
I fear that kind of stuff is what's going to happen in like bigger American cities, is because essentially the mobs, if they get empowered enough, they become these like cartels in their own, you know,
like local feudal warlords and shit.
Yeah.
Like Atlanta's having a big problem. I guess I have for a while, like the street racing stuff going on, and you're talking hundreds of people gathered up for these street races, and you don't have enough police.
No.
You don't have enough want to go in there and cause potentially, something bad to happen, or somebody to wreck, or somebody is really drunk and pulls a gun, and then you've got...
That's a problem that eventually fixes itself, because some dumbass will be in there who'll be on too much fucking C-Rock, and then he'll get in his little like Honda he's got souped up, and he'll basically cut it in half on a light pole, and that'll probably end all that.
Yeah, well, for a little bit.
For a little bit, yeah.
But again, it says something like if these cats are doing this in their city and they're peacefully assembling for a street race, I mean, do you have the authority to tell them
Some
they can't
places
do
have
it?
actually allowed them to they've created safe zones for them to do it, and then some people have actually they're starting doing it. They're doing it at racetracks now. Mm-hmm. So the local restaurant open up and allow them to go do that.
Yeah.
Which is probably
people.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, we have that shit around here.
I mean, it's like gambling. Like you can make gambling illegal on sports or whatever. Yeah. But I'm going. If I'm predisposed to wanting to gamble, I'm going to find something to gamble on. Yeah. Raindrops hitting the glass. Which one's going to go down first?
You got a problem, Fred.
And
I'm good. I'm going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. And if I'm stupid enough to go spend a ton of my paycheck on gambling, I should be able to.
You never right through in your life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like one of the arguments with the the war on drugs, where it's like, well, what's it doing? Like, what's it like? It's not getting rid of drugs. Drugs, if anything, have just boomed. Since like making it illegal. And
I mean, we've led the wholesale murder of people in Mexico for years because we've made it illegal. And same thing when we did prohibition with alcohol.
You empower criminals.
The mob. That's where the mob rose out of, was that, and then they came out of that strong as shit, and they can go do other stuff. They can strong arm local businesses and organized crime and all that shit rolls into prohibition of anything.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing. Maybe we'll still see it. I mean, we got a couple weeks left of Trump where he'll just be like, "I've decided to pardon all nonviolent drug offenders."
Yeah. That would be the biggest fuck you to anybody's that.
Oh man.
In touch with no, he pardoned a lot of black men.
Yeah.
And I'm not sounding a little racist to say that, but that's majority who the war on drugs has affected.
Yeah, no doubt,
definitely. And that's part of Biden's crime bill from 94 that he was all against. These bad, what do they call them? Bad Jose's? What do they call them? Bad hombres.
Bad hombres.
Bad Jose's. And these bad hombres coming up to beat his son up in the alley. It's like, oh, you mean Hunter when he's buying his dope? What are you doing?
Getting a foot job?
Yeah. From his niece?
I've never. God.
That's what I just read that.
No, yeah. She had a diary where she was talking about like some
weird
pretty
stuff.
weird things going on at the Biden family.
For a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I've never seen as effective damage control or spin control on the gaffes that Biden has had on any other president.
If anybody had said to Charlamagne the God that you're not black, if you vote for Trump, that would have been the end of their everything.
I like the tweets that were after Trump put out the first stimulus check. It was $1,200, and everybody's like, "Leave my president alone." President for life.
There's that meme going on now where it's a cartoon as like, you know, like Trump like sitting at a podium and you know, puckers lips and the speech bubble says $2,000. It's just girls showing their tits. Like, yeah.
Yeah. You mean some of my money's not going to Raytheon? What?
I wonder how much I own of an F-35.
Yeah. Wingtip. My wingtip.
Probably a bolt.
I was about to say, like, one fuse.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't mind paying local taxes. I don't mind, you know, my money
State
going
taxes.
to, state taxes. I don't mind my money going to roads. I definitely don't mind my money going to schools.
Yeah.
Anything that creates a safety net for my local population and helps to ensure that basic needs are met and commerce and transportation and, you know, education, all that stuff, I'm all about. I am not about the fucking IRS tax cartel that's going on. Like I could be wrong, but I believe the IRS is owned by the IMF, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, also talking about going back to the IMF and those what you were talking about
Social credit
with the
cards.
social credit thing. There's talking about the Great Reset and coming out with weird ads.
They walked all that back pretty quick.
The World Economic Forum, like real stuff from them, they put out like in so and so years you will own nothing and you will love it.
Yeah, it's 2030. I own nothing, and I've never been happier.
Yeah.
It's like that sounds like slavery propaganda.
Yeah.
When you really kind of, like, you gotta think about like a lot of stress comes from like having to own a home, having to have a car to go to work, and like and that's fucking stupid. But like, if you don't own anything, what do you have to worry about?
Yeah. If everything is a subscription model.
Yeah, that's what it's going to though. That's really what it's going to.
Oh yeah,
That's what
as needed services. Remember, like back in the day, before like Netscape and IE and all that. Like when you want to go online, you use an app, use America Online or Prodigy or something like that, and that would give you like access to web pages. But then you had web browsers come out. Were like, you don't need AOL. You can actually just type any address you want without, and you don't need their subscription for it.
I was like, whoa, what?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Pornhub come on internet access and stuff? Back then, like, well, they've basically purged all non-verified content.
Yeah, I did see that. Like,
because Visa took away MasterCard said you can't do business with these guys anymore.
Yeah, which on one hand, like, from what I've read, they had a problem with like underage and exploitation and child.
Yeah, they had human traffickers on there as well.
Yeah, and I get that, but like they also it's kind of
who found that?
I think some of the girls came forward and said this is who.
Yeah, and that they had
I was underage.
They're like they documented a porn film with me in order for me to get this and this and this.
Oh.
I remember those guys. Never mind. We're not going into types of porn. Never mind. We'll leave that for a private conversation. But like,
no, please don't stifle your opinion. Share it with the rest of the class.
There's like a whole genre of like, girl goes to meet a guy.
He's trying to find a way to say that he's into bestiality.
Yeah.
You guys know anybody that I don't know is ever like?
All I'm saying is animals can consent. That's all I'm saying.
You ever
I was talking with my buddy Cenk Uygur about horse cocks the other day.
You ever feel like you're just a dragon? And you get really into like, you just really like to look at cars also?
Yeah.
Like, what these cars look like?
I mean, they have a hole in the back. I mean, what's it for? I don't know. There's a whole genre of like the whole like the first time in porn girl. That's like a whole genre of porn. Right?
Yeah. The first time audition or whatever.
Yeah, that type of shit. There was one like real big one.
Casting couch.
Yeah. It was a real big one that like come to find out like a lot of these girls never ever fucking consented to that video being released ever.
Oh.
And that they're gone now. But then they also found out some of the girls they recorded were underage. And it was also found out that they knew they were underage.
Oh.
So they're no longer on Pornhub or anywhere.
Which they shouldn't
well,
be.
That's good.
Yeah.
But what got me is you got people upset that they got rid of all the unverified content. It's like, What? Why would you not want? I mean, you can argue the merits of like having access to porn as easy as Pornhub, but like,
one of the arguments I heard was that for entrepreneurs that used Pornhub in order to make money, that if they had not been verified, that their livelihood was just taken away from them. It would be the same as like YouTube.
Why don't you go get a job like everybody else does?
Well, I mean that's an argument to make, right? But like it'd be the same thing as if YouTube demonetized any video that didn't have at least like 50,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah,
they were like,
which they already do. So
Yeah.
Well, they have a program with, I think it's called the YouTube Partner Program.
Yeah.
But you can still, like, I mean, clearly I don't have 50,000 subscribers, but I can still upload like my videos to YouTube.
Yeah.
They didn't remove everything. So that's the only argument I found for it. Other than that, like it seems like one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, if all this shit was going on, Pornhub as a company would likely not want to be associated with that.
Well, like you have these people getting pissed off at Pornhub. It's like it's kind of the same thing. Argument with YouTube is like you don't understand the sheer amounts of data they're dealing with every day. Mm-hmm. Somebody could probably upload like child porn or some type of sexual exploitation on Pornhub. And there's not some poor fucker sitting at porn headquarters like scrolling through every fucking video.
Yeah.
I would have to have that.
And
job.
I'm sure the label for the video is not illegal. Illegal.
Hot child action.
Or 2004 tax returns.
I have been able to find like movies and TV episodes of like not porn, like on Pornhub, like like Rick and Morty episodes have appeared on there before Hulu has access to them.
There was some stuff on YouTube for a minute. They were talking about maybe getting rid of some of the gun review channels, like Hickok and some of the other guys.
Colin Noir.
That just review guns or whatever, and people were uploading old videos to Pornhub. Because the restrictions are way less on there, obviously. That was funny.
I don't understand the argument of like trying to remove that like gun review content from YouTube.
Because
knowledge is power.
Yeah, because those type of people don't want anybody having. They don't want guns being shown or illustrated as something as a tool that people can own responsibly. They don't want that. Guns are bad. Yeah, if you own a gun, you're bad.
But they're telling you this while they have private security with guns.
Correct.
Well, yeah, but they don't have it. That's just their hired security.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazies out there. And
how is Nancy Pelosi going to keep her ice cream safe?
Man.
Without
her standing on the fucking podium. $600 is an adequate amount. And then you go open her goddamn freezer and there's like $1,000 worth of fucking ice cream. Fuck you.
That Jenny's is a big DNC donor.
Yeah.
And that was also what everybody talked for a while about pizza being is it a euphemism? Is that the right word for child exploitation and this and that? But they're talking about they've abandoned pizza and picking up ice cream, or ice cream is another euphemism for something else, because there's Biden having his ice cream, all this other stuff,
which makes sense because like since the WikiLeaks stuff, where all that data was at in the Podesta emails, you've now got like millions of people that have been tuned in to like the symbology and the wordplay.
What do you think they would be smart enough to get away from food as euphemisms? Like, I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
bonkers.
Don't do it.
And he sits. Good boy.
You're gonna wake up at night, like get up one morning and walk in here, and that thing's gonna be in pieces all over the floor. He fought for his freedom.
And then I saw the ATF was wanting to so a certain lengths of
pistol brace thing.
Yeah. So certain lengths of rifle, I believe, if it's below a 16-inch barrel, it's classified as a short barreled rifle if you shoulder the gun. So they don't want the ATF doesn't want you having rifle power capability with something that you can shoulder with a short barrel on it. For what reason? Maybe because it's more maneuverable.
Yeah.
Inside, indoors.
So what it was is they had it's the AR-15 frame, right? Mm-hmm. You get different barrel lengths, right? So they used to sell an AR-15 pistol, which was a short barrel. It was an AR-15 with no brace, had the buffer tube, and a short barrel. Well, some genius found a loophole to make a brace that hooks on, but it's shaped just like a stock. But it's got like a strap you can put on your wrist and hold it like a pistol.
Yeah.
To assist you. But what everybody does is pull.
So allegedly, what some people have done.
Allegedly, we don't
people
know.
that I don't know or have ever seen have been shouldering it because the pistol brace it's got a strap on, like I said,
strap,
but it's kind of plasticky, you know. But same as plastic as your phone, that's pretty substantial.
That thing's taking a beating.
Yeah, and they'll use that as a brace. Or a shoulder.
So you have like a rifle, AR-15 or 7.62.
Yeah.
That you could really conceal under a jacket.
Yeah.
Like it'll be literally like a foot long.
Yeah.
Is that why sawed-offs are illegal?
Yes.
Yeah. Same reason. They don't want you to have that much power that concealable. Or in an enclosed space, because you know if you start toting around your Dove 12 gauge with a 26-inch barrel in there, you're not tactically walking around.
Well, if I put it on a pair of Jinkos, I can.
Yeah, you can't exactly get the barrel of the gun through a doorway and then come around it in any sort of smooth fashion.
I remember watching a video back when we was like high school of like it was like some fucking newscast. The school was trying to like make it where you couldn't wear Jinko jeans.
Yeah. Oh, the dress code. That
like
dress code video.
Post Columbine.
Yeah.
And they showed a kid had the big old baggy Jinko jeans and pulling a fucking 12 gauge shotgun out.
Oh, it was. I was like, how the fuck did he move around?
Yeah.
How many takes did it?
Man, he had like 13 guns on him. But, you know, there are all these little pocket pistols and stuff, but then he brings out that shotgun.
Yeah, then like that, have a clear backpack.
Yeah. So they want a dress code and clear backpack.
Well, just make all the students show up naked, wearing clean or clear clothes, you know.
But yeah, they've walked back the brace thing.
Yeah.
Because the problem was like you now made literally hundreds of thousands of gun owners.
Yeah, felons
now.
Yeah.
There's no, like, you could say, not beyond this point, you can't sell these or whatever. It's like they're illegal now.
Yeah.
That's one problem I have with any type of argument against the Second Amendment. It's like I'm not a big gun nut or anything like that. I have guns, but
I thought you lost them in a boating accident.
I will. Likely. But the all these steps that are taken, right? Like okay, now this is illegal. Now all you guys are felons. Yeah. Now we can arrest all of you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now your voting power is taken away.
Yeah.
Now you can't have a gun again.
Yeah.
Right.
Your credit history stinks. You can't get a good loan for a home.
Yeah.
And like, go back to
you become dependent on the teat of the government. You know,
like the whole gun debate is like back when all this rioting and like looting and stuff started. People in like say California.
Yeah.
Everybody rushed to find a gun and thought, oh, you really just can't walk in and buy a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you gotta have a clean,
you gotta have
like clean history, you know, like
they're not just gonna walk in like, and I love like the articles of like these anti-gun like bloggers that like try to walk in and buy an AR-15 and they find, oh, I can't really just walk in and buy an AR-15. I have to like do a background check. I have to do a bunch of like paperwork and shit. It's
everything about you is going to be tied to the firearm.
Oh yeah.
So like if you try to do anything malicious with it, like they're gonna catch you. You know.
If I sell it to you and you sell it to some other guy and then they get stolen, if there's not some bill of sale paper trail, like it's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. Like it's like aside from that, like anytime historically you look at whenever you start having things like gun confiscation. Like bad things almost always follow it.
That's
you know,
what like old Grand Chancellor Harris is all about. Is like mandatory gun buybacks. Y'all, that man will walk out on the podium, take his acceptance speech, and he will trip trip for his fingers
Into a bullet.
into a fucking bullet.
No, he's going to trip and shatter into a million pieces like a T-1000 when he gets a knife.
He trips, falls, and like all that mercurial stuff comes back together, and a bomber rises out of it.
But ethereal style, like the ghost at the end of Star Wars that only Luke can see.
Yeah. So you're telling me the woman that put children in jail and single parents in jail for too many truancy is trying to take our guns away?
I don't think she did that. I think she threatened to do it. I don't know if she actually did, but one thing she did do was she kept people in prison longer than they were supposed to be there in order to continue to get cheap labor out of them.
Fighting fires.
Oh, yeah.
She also wouldn't allow, or I don't know if withheld evidence is the right term because I think that's illegal, but she was complicit in knowing about some sort of child sex abuse scandals from some pedophile priest.
Oh God!
And helped to keep
Did you see
keep the pedophile in the parish.
Talking about scandals, you see that video of Warnock's wife? The video, the police body cam footage.
Mm-mm.
Talking about how basically he's a wife beater and it's all act. Like his own wife was talking to the cop like he puts it in act.
The Georgia Senate guy.
Yeah,
all four of them are just cocksuckers as far as I'm concerned,
it's so funny,
and I'm tired of getting the fucking shit in my mail from John Osso and Raphael Warnock.
I get 7 things a day from David Perdue, the fucking goofy looking bitch that owns the Hawks or whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Loeffler, and the other 2.
Now, it was either Purdue or Loeffler. One of them, I think, cashed in before COVID.
Both of them.
Both of them did?
But her husband...
Fuck all 4 of you! I'm voting for your fucking asses, dude. Fuck that shit, man.
Her husband is the chairman of the New York Stock Exchange.
Golly.
Oh, man. I got no time for any of them.
Dude, this fucking... I think one of the other representatives we have from Georgia is a QAnon supporter. That's the most logical out of the 5 of you. Is that woman?
Yeah. Dude, I don't even know what John Ossoff is. I don't know what he does.
He's here for a better America, for justice for all, for words that are spoken in this tone and have a positive demeanor behind him, behind a hot guy who's saying it. Look at how fucking hot John Ossoff is.
Yeah, he's just a young-faced guy, and he's got his little sleeve rolled up on his dress shirt.
Let's get ready to go to work.
Yeah. I'm ready to get my hands dirty.
And I'm like,
for
what
you.
Do what?
His wife's a doctor.
Do you know how to change a tire?
Oh my gosh!
He's another one of the ones that's been in the government machine for a long time. Who
was he like a staffer somewhere?
Who's the guy that fell that passed away this year? That he's running for a seat in the Senate. Lewis, is it Lewis something?
Fuck. I know who you're talking about. The older dude.
Yeah, older gentleman. He marched across the bridge.
Yeah, John Lewis.
John
Lewis. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in his staff forever.
Okay. All right. Because I should, but I haven't. I'm not dedicating a single moment of my time to any of these clowns.
I think, man, Georgia's pretty looking apt for a divorce in itself, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was in Atlanta a few weeks ago, and almost everyone I was around up there, save 2 people that was just like all blue, with everything. They were the tone and with everything was kind of like how Trump devotion syndrome is down here.
Yeah.
Where it's just like we gotta stop them. If we don't stop them, they're gonna keep fucking kids and like satanic pedophiles, every one of them.
Atlanta's not near the size or whatever of New York City, but it's becoming very similar to that relationship between New York City and the rest of New York State. Yeah, you got Rochester and Buffalo and some other.
They've sadly talked about coming down to Macon and drilling down and pumping water out of our aquifer for their city. Like,
yeah. I'm about tired of Atlanta.
yeah.
Well, like Georgia's always had like blue areas in it anyway. You know, well, I mean, at least as long as I've been alive.
Savannah, Columbus. Despite military base, Columbus,
Albany.
Yeah, Albany,
Macon,
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, dude, it was. You see all this stuff online where people are like, oh, there's two different worlds emerging. It's like.
Duh.
Well, I mean, I had just been seeing it it's 2020, social distance. So I've been seeing most of life through a screen,
Yeah.
But when I was actually up in there, and I was like, good God, dude, you guys are really tapped into this, like Orange Man bad shit,
It's just gotten worse and worse.
I think some of it in Atlanta has to do with rural decline, people moving out of these rural areas to where the jobs and prosperity is, but also Atlanta is basically mini Hollywood now.
Yeah,
you got a lot of that.
You've had a lot of that. A lot of those transplants from California and other, cities that are really into the movie industry have moved there.
Yeah, that was one of the things that why I did not vote for Stacey Abrams, because I was like, look how much of her money is coming from Hollywood, Los Angeles, the film industry, California.
These Senate races, there's fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hello, bunkers.
It's over $100 million from what I understand.
Yeah, there's poured in I was thinking this last night. I was cooking. I was like, it's really fucking weird that the fate of the nation, which way it's going to go in the next 4 years, depends on 2 seats in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I got to think, is it really right for there be out of state money pouring in?
Yeah.
I think that should.
State election?
I think that should not be. I think that should be against the rules. I don't know if I would say it should be a crime or not. But why the hell is another state pouring money into our state's elections? You know what I mean? It should only be money from the state and the citizens itself.
Well, it's all tied together. But I read Andrew Yang saying he was going to move to Georgia. You can change your Hillary moving to New York to fill that seat. And just changing their residence. And it's if you make it where it's got to come from in-state, all you're making somebody do is fill out some paperwork.
Right.
To
Aren't the Clintons electors as well?
Yes. She is, and I don't know why she is, but I know maybe because he was a president, she was first lady. I don't know.
I think that should be against the rules too, right? That was one of the early things Trump did, where I was like, that's kind of cool. Where it was the lobbyist rule, where he was like you can't serve. Yeah. And then go and join these lobbying firms or something like that, afterwards.
That's another joke. All that lobbying shit.
Go back to Abrams, when she ran against Kemp, who Kemp in his own right is a fucking moron.
I didn't vote for Kemp either. Yeah.
Going door to door with Will Ferrell made me go, I'm not going to vote for you.
No.
If your appeal is go to suburban Atlanta and make Will Ferrell dance for you,
she doesn't represent the people's interests, which none of them do. So whatever.
No.
But if Will Ferrell was an Atlanta senator, I'm that's cool. He's getting out and he's doing his thing for his community. But no, Will Ferrell lives in fucking California.
Yeah.
Don't hop on a plane, a private jet, and fly to the capital of my state, and then try to
That's DNC. That's DNC. Number one MO. Every election, they guys here's Beyonce, everybody.
Oh my God, it's Beyonce.
And then the funniest one ever was the Trump Lil Wayne. It's excuse me. We love our Lil Waynes, don't we?
Who was it? Lil Pump.
Yeah.
Endorses. He's at a MAGA rally. He's Little Pimp.
Yes. we love our little pimps, don't we? Isn't he great, folks?
Very cool, Kanye. Thank you.
You know who he is. Everybody knows who this guy is, right? Don't you? Of course you do.
At least he Trump's such a bullshitter that he makes it obvious as like, of course, I don't like listen to his music, but I hear good things. He's very popular, so I mean, I'm really glad he's endorsed me because he's really popular. Come on up. You want to say a few words? You like me? Come on up. Like, that's cool as shit, dude. Like,
it's just like Hansel from Zoolander talking about Sting. He's like, well, listen to his music, but I respect that he's doing it. He's having a good time.
Have any of y'all watched the new Borat?
no.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I just part of it I think was like getting like into conspiracies a few years ago, but I just don't like have the interest for like sitting down like watching the entertainment. Something broke with me, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure. I think it started initially when I started learning about like audio and video because they told us that like it's going to ruin music for you, it's going to ruin movies for you, but you're going to have a much better understanding and appreciation of it, and you start looking at things more analytically, like that way.
You saw the sausage was made.
Well, Sacha Baron Cohen, I've watched a bunch of his stuff, and he's funny.
Yeah.
Like all his stuff was funny. The Borat, the Ali G, the Bruno. All that stuff was his character in Talladega Nights. But he made his living on this brash, pranky comedy, and this last one comes out as like an argument kind of maybe against that, or I don't know if that's right, but he's starting to feed in now. He's going past, like, it's like he's stepping out of the ball game, like with the Giuliani thing.
Yeah.
Like he's starting to feed into all this other that doesn't have anything to do with brash comedy. And that turns me off.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't like. There's aspects of it that are tied to wokeism, and because in the culture war, Trump is clearly not part of wokeism. You know what I mean?
Basically, he picked a side.
I don't like picking a side. Like, look, Giuliani he's a
scumbag lawyer from New York.
He's a ghoul. He is a ghoul.
He even kind of looks ghoulish.
Yeah, he's awful, but painting him as a child molester on a video where you pranked him.
They didn't play the whole fucking clip.
They didn't play the whole clip in context. He never knew what age the girl was supposedly playing for him to come in, for Cohen to come in and say, she's 15, she's too old for you, making the joke. But, him getting in on these politicians or whoever was his game. That's what made it so funny. These guys saying stuff was funny, but releasing it at the time it was released and all, and how all these websites and media places jumped on it. Like, Giuliani's a child molester on top of all this stuff, and he's Trump's best friend and all this stuff. That doesn't sit with me for whatever reason.
What a way for a fucking he's a ghoul, like you said, but like a very historic litigator and like lawyer. Like, he took down the mob in New York in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, and for his career to end with him running around trying to subvert democracy for an orange orangutan is
it makes
very sad. Like,
it makes me wonder, these guys, because they have enough money for, quote unquote generational wealth.
Yeah,
they've got it. They've created enough wealth, whatever, power to secure their children and maybe grandchildren a nice life. Yeah, obviously they still got to work, but there's enough money in the tank where you're not destitute and broke.
Yeah,
and for them to keep going, I wonder if it's I was in the spotlight, I fell out of it, I want to be back in the spotlight. I don't know what drives them. Is it just the money? They like spending so lavishly that they've got to keep generating.
Well, I go ahead and tell you, John is not like he's spent like a lot of money, because he's got look at when he was doing, like, he's sweating hair dye down his face. Like, he's not spending it in the right places. Like, you don't want to go buy Just for Men in the box, Judy. Just go get a professional job done.
Yeah. Well, that's what I heard about Trump too. The reason he has his hair the way he does is because he's trying to hide some bad hair implant scars.
Yeah.
Of course, he's vain, doesn't want to lose his hair.
Does he really think people does not know he has a spray tan?
I think he doesn't care. I think he doesn't give a shit. I think that's part of his game, is he says this stuff because he knows people will make fun of him.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like the big thing that's kind of like
going back to the Giuliani stab, that's kind of irked me, is that, you know, I'm not seeing them make fun of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's this narrative of like, we all have to team together and get them.
Yeah.
And the joke is the butt of the joke is always the same. It's always pointing in the same direction. That's why I love South Park, is because they rip on everything, even themselves.
Yeah.
You know, there's episodes where they mock themselves, you know what I mean? And the dynamics of the characters evolve from it. They're fucking brilliant with it.
It's like Jackass. Like, they're pranking each other like all the time.
Yeah.
But watching any of these new prank shows where they have these strangers, it doesn't do it for me.
Well, because you know these friends fucking around with friends.
That's some of the most primal, funny stuff that you can watch.
Well, that's like, you know, fucking Justin wiping his ass on my head or slapping with a fish. Like, it's that type of shit. Or like smearing hot dog chili on my toilet seat.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Somebody's got to clean this shit up.
Were you there for that? What a
Somebody's
dickhead.
cleaning this up now. It ain't going to be me. Will in there taking a shit and Justin popping the hinges on the door.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that one. God, he's a shitty friend.
I think the first night I ever met him, he antiqued me, which was fine, but I had my contacts in because I couldn't see without the motherfuckers, and that flour just caked into my eyeballs, and I was like,
He had known Judd for probably 2 hours.
yeah,
And he antiqued him.
from a dead sleep.
Judd just God damn it, I got contacts in.
Yeah, like, I can't see. I'm not gonna be able to drive home.
He was in that big ass recliner. I just lay back sleeping like this and just sit straight up and just start fluffing off his face.
Oh man,
God, he's such an asshole. I mean,
I tried to see if he could come into town and be on the show as well, but he's got a mileage restriction.
yeah, he
for
could
his
be
job.
like 400 miles from anywhere.
It's less than that.
Oh,
I
they
think.
knocked it down. What's some other shitty things he's done? It says a lot about a person. You have a fucking list of asshole shit he's done.
There's got these pics here on the fridge. Oh shoot, that's a magnet. There's the first time that fella got drunk ever. And there's just
that's a great picture. Puke in motion.
there's his
Testicles.
his nutsack.
Oh
It was back when it was disposable cameras.
Yeah.
You know, so you wouldn't know what was on until you got developed.
Man, what a fucking job that was back in the day. Like developing film for people.
Yeah. Oh,
Think of the shit they've seen.
Oh god. The copies of stuff they made.
And they just see you out in public, and you don't remember them.
Yeah.
Like you don't remember Fred from when he worked at the copy store, the photo lab. But he remembers that pic of you and your butthole that you got developed at his store.
I remember we had the Kevin party the first time, and I went and got that fucking baked mac and cheese, and that asshole took a fork and peeled the cheese on top off like a sardine can from the 30s, and then ate it, and then proceeded to get fucking shit-faced drunk and throw it up an hour and a half later.
You know, that's like when Cartman eats all the KFC chicken skin.
Yep.
What the fuck? Oh man, I'd be furious. He did that at the first cabin party?
Yeah, you weren't there yet. Like I'd laid out the spread, and like this is the
Was
butcher
that
shop.
one Joey was at as well?
Maybe. I don't know.
If so, I might have been dancing outside in the yard or something.
No, I think it was because he got pissed off and left that night.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that because like we were having a great time. Like just like at this point, the sun was down and everybody was. I think Dane was on his way. He had just gotten off at the tattoo shop.
I will never
He
forget
and
this.
Samson were coming
To
up.
the day I will remember it's the day I die. Waking up and Dane being like in the bed, and there is a trail of puke from the back bedroom all the way to like in a straight fucking line to the screen to the bonkers.
He'll knock shit down.
It was a trail of puke.
Trail of puke.
I mean, just a straight trail of puke, like, bleh, and then a 4 feet, bleh, and then right there at the screen, there's like a place where somebody like just puked into the fucking screen.
You're trying to filter it?
And it slid down, it was like piled up on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And what happened was Danny got so drunk that, because I had homemade wine there that night, and they were just fucking chugging this shit.
Oh no.
And
Oh
like,
yeah, the cabin party, right?
yeah. And then like I woke up, I said, what the fuck happened? He said he got out, he woke out of the bed, didn't know where the fuck he was. He was trying to go somewhere and throw up, but he couldn't figure out the door, so he just went to the screen and started throwing up. I've got some really good drunk stories with Dane, and I don't know how the fuck he did this. This is when like he was real young. He was like 15.
I'd love to get him on the show. I just don't know if he would talk that much.
Man, let me tell you about Kelly. I took him home that night and had to get up the next day to go fucking work at Inmark. And I woke up and I gave him a bucket because he'd been throwing up. Alright? So the bucket's by the futon. I kicked my fucking DC fucking skate shoes off like literally in the middle of the room. Alright? So I literally wake up, the bucket's clean. I walk up and in one of my shoes, he had thrown up in it. Just in one of the shoes.
Oh man.
I don't know fucking how it happened. There was no puke anywhere else, just in that shoe.
Him going home for Thanksgiving one time and his family had moved. And didn't tell him. And where's everybody at?
It's so bad.
His family had skipped town.
I remember there was one Friday after school. I went over to his house to like get like a pedal or something I'd left over there, and he had just gotten there, like gotten off the bus, and his family's like there's a lot of them, and they're all getting in a car and they're like driving, and I'm like, what's that about? He's like, oh, they decided to go to Disney World, but not take me. Oh, okay. God, dog.
Oh
I
man.
love Dane.
I've never seen someone handle misery so calmly before. Holy
Just
shit.
rolls right off of him. Yeah, they moved away. Yeah, that's about like some shit they do.
I remember one time we were out at Rodney's and we were not underage drinking, but we were underage drinking. But I got absolutely fucking shit faced, and Dane was 15, and I didn't want to drive drunk, so I was like, Dane, I don't think he drove much. I said, you know how to get back to my house? He said, yeah, I'll drive. All right, cool. So I'm like leaning against the door, drunk, trying to get home. Dane's driving like 45 miles an hour, 10 and 2, just straight as an arrow. We go home. I cook us something to eat. We go to bed. I wake up the next fucking day. Not only did he drive underage, he was fucking drunk too. I was like, why did you tell me so? I just wanted to drive.
He's 15 and shaving every day.
Yeah.
Shit, no joke.
He had sideburns in 7th grade.
There was one night out at Rodney's is when what was her name? Stephanie Wolter.
Yeah.
The German. I don't know if it was German exchange. German students.
Imagine coming from a place like Germany and losing your virginity to who she lost her virginity to.
Right.
That's
in Lakeland, Georgia.
in the cloud room at Mike's house.
That's where I lost my virginity.
Man, a lot of V cars got pulled there, didn't it?
I guess. Well, at least two of them did. I know that. But she had one of her friends from Germany was in. His name was Ziggy.
Yeah,
and he was like a DJ or something. He had graduated high school. I know that. Like he was like off and doing stuff. And there had something that happened inside. I think that may have been the same night that Joey and Rodney almost got to fight. Like, fuck you, fuck me, in my fucking house.
He's got Joey jacked up on the freezer.
Joey's just like,
Rodney has Joe by the throat, and Joe goes, Rodney? Like he didn't think he had it. Like he did not think he had it in him.
I was outside after that, and off in the shadow somewhere, peeing and or puking. I don't know. I think it was also the same night of like, am I puking? Am I peeing?
The JP night.
JP.
I got shit.
He had stepped up to the side. I was like puking, and then he was like trying to get up, and then he just farted really hard, and then he just puked even harder.
Oh goddamn! Remember the first time JP got drunk? Justin got him drunk.
Hold up! Before that, like the night with Ziggy and all this stuff, like at that point, like Ziggy and Stephanie were backing out of the driveway and like going home, and then Dane comes out of the house, flings the door open, and goes, "Ziggy! No!" Like he didn't get to say goodbye to Ziggy. He just comes out and sees the car just driving away.
Oh dang. This is another good Justin story about being a fucking dickhead. JP, I think he just turned 21 or some shit like that. Anyway, he went and bought beer for him and Justin to drink, but what Justin's goal was to get JP absolutely fucking piss shit drunk, like drunk. So we're parked in at Justin's road for some fucking reason drinking, and like JP's sick. So Justin's solution for this is to give JP the Heimlich maneuver. Oh. So he's like going like he's jaking him and doing that, and as he's doing it, JP is doing this beautiful fountainous vomit like.
Come here, boy.
Oh my lord! What was Damn! When was the last time we had the cat party?
It's been years.
There was did we do one? Did we do one since after Ryan passed away?
We did one for my. We had it for my bachelor party, and then we did another one the year later, and I think Ryan died the following year.
Ryan died in 2015.
Yep.
So I know we didn't. I don't think we did one that year either, because I think that's when Tommy was still
sick.
Yeah.
You know the thing I was thinking about Ryan is like I normally don't go to gravesides people die.
Mm-hmm.
It struck me, really bothered me that I don't have that option with him because he had his ashes spread in the river and down the lake house.
Yeah.
And I know that was his wishes, and that's fine. But like, it was very like a sad moment because he'll pop in my mind every now and then.
Yeah, likewise.
Like he's one of those people until he was gone. I realized how much time I spent at his house, how much time we spent together in high school. Because you go through life and you forget. You get fucking older. You only have so much room and bandwidth to remember shit.
Yeah.
So
Ryan was one of the first other people I met that could play the guitar. I think he may have been the first other person I jammed with, and Thompson was probably the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Ryan showed me what a palm mute was. I didn't know what a palm mute was. He's like, oh, it's just easy. You just put your hand right there and you just do that. I'm like, oh my god, that's a game changer.
The door's been opened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when was it? 2013 when I saw him. That's when he looked like the alien in Men in Black.
Water and sugar.
Yeah.
Fucking Barney's jackass said, water and sugar.
But like even his voice sounded like that. It's like, golly, Ryan, like what you been doing, man? He was green looking and jaundiced and like all that, and then the year after that he looked healthy. It was like
He quit for about a year.
Yeah, it's like oh, thank God, man. And then the year, well, not even a year, that was 6 months later. Like it was November, I guess is when we had. Was it November or December? I remember we had one year that was out at Joey's family's place. We didn't actually go out to the cabin.
I think we were that year. Then I think Donald decided he's going to cook out for Joey or whatever, which is fine because that joker can cook.
Sure. That was fun.
But he that fucking Van Morrison song "Into the Missing" they played at his wake or whatever. I listened to that a lot.
He had, I think it's on my phone, maybe it's on my Facebook, but there was some old message he had sent me. I was like, hey man, if I ever die before you, play these songs at my funeral, and I had totally
Forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh well. Too late.
Sorry, bro. Might be. They may have played them anyway. I can't remember what the songs were in it.
I think they only played "Into the Mystic" by Van Morrison. That was the only thing they played.
No, they played. I think they played "Simple Man" as well.
Oh, they maybe so, yeah.
Because they had that little
video.
Yeah. But yeah, not many songs. But I'm glad they didn't do it at a funeral home, man. Like there's been other people who went to high school with their funerals, and out of respect to the dead, I won't say this person's name, but it was guy went by Hank that was in our class.
Yeah.
And did you were at that funeral?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
That's our cousin.
Yeah. I know. Thompson was there, but but the funeral, they wouldn't let people speak. Only certain men of the household, so to speak, could speak, and it was all about accepting Jesus and fire and brimstone.
There's nothing I hate more than going to a funeral and the preacher just preaches, tries to get, and if that person was religious and they were all about Jesus and God, it's perfectly fine. But there's nothing more than a preacher that doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And then they just preach a generic sermon.
Yeah. We went to one earlier this year, and at the time we went, but he was such a influential person to a lot of people. A friend. Went. We didn't do the wake or whatever you want to call it. Inside, it was just outside gravesite because of the virus stuff. But same thing. The preacher knew him, and he spoke for maybe 2 minutes tops, and then just let people tell a story, a funny story about him, and got to hear 15 stories, and everybody laughed, because that's what you want to remember from somebody. It's the good times, why he was your friend, or why he meant something to you.
Right.
Not necessarily even a joke story, but just something good that happened, or a time you were there with him.
That's what's supposed to be a celebration of life.
Yeah, man. Willis's funeral, that's the most beautiful funeral I've ever been to.
I say this all the time. If I grew up in a black church, I've been religious.
No joke, man. With music like that and energy like that.
Harris Ensemble. I've been to a few. I've been to Tool. I've seen some bands playing stuff.
Right.
I've been in church. I've heard people sing. I've never heard a person sing like that. How the lead singer of the ensemble sang like she sang.
Yeah.
Like she could put Whitney Houston underground.
Right.
Which she is underground, but
Dig her up and put the bitch back under again. Well, it was, man. They let anybody speak. They read the card. Like anybody gave flowers, they read it aloud for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, and
we're at the graveside. They're passing out bottles and tissues and shit. Like, and they got guys walking around the whole entire time passing out tissues.
Yeah.
I've never seen music funeral do that shit.
No.
Yeah. No, and when you do that, people have different groups of friends or different family members you might not ever even know about, and you get to hear these stories of stuff that happened, and it kind of fills in some gaps you may have about that person. Stuff they've done, where they've traveled, whatever. Somebody you might have known your whole life, you get to hear something
aside you didn't know about them.
New that day, and that's very cool.
Yeah, with this guy's funeral, it was like, well, the good news is that before he left, we know that he got his soul right with Jesus, so he is now a part of his kingdom. And let us read of how you need to turn your life away from sin and into
nothing about this guy being a friend, brother.
No, like they
father.
even there was even like his wife. They finally let her we'll let her say a few words. And it's like at the very end.
Well, how generous of you.
Yeah, and she's like if people want to talk, they can talk.
Yeah.
And she's tearing up and meek. Her fucking husband just died.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you go ahead, you can have your little time. And she allowed one person to come up, and then the elders, bonkers, chill, bro. The elders were like, well, we only want family to speak. We know that a lot of people here want to speak, but we're trying to be, just keep this to family. Just close and immediate family. And so after one person spoke that wasn't blood related.
Yeah.
It was literally her, one other person. They're like, well, we're gonna go ahead and cut that off.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and read again from.
How many people that were in our high school we went through have passed?
I know. Bonkers.
4 or 5?
Every time you hear that in this conversation, that means Bonkers has been successfully deterred away from doing something naughty. Golly, let me think. There was Beck, Willis, Ryan, Hank. I think one of the girls died. I'm not sure. I wasn't friends with too many girls in high school. You know what I mean? I had some in our class and my girlfriend, but
I thought it was more.
I mean, it may have been, but shit, dude. How many we had? 58 people that walked, graduated
62.
with? The 62 were in the roster. I think only 58 made it. I think we had 4 that had to go back for summer school.
But I know at that time we were the largest graduating class.
That's insane.
I had a good time in high school, man. I know that not everybody looks back fondly on those years of their life, but I had a great time. I played football. I had a great group of friends. Towards the end of high school, I hate saying I was somewhat popular. People like me. I had a good time.
I liked high school.
And
I like life. Yeah. I think it's the bee's knees.
I sometimes will think about going back to death and funerals and stuff. The whole. I enjoy life too much, even in the valleys, even in the valleys and the peaks or whatever. How it's the ebb and flow of life. I think I'd rather have that again than be in some other plane of existence. Sometimes.
Right.
It's I like life too much. It's enjoyable. A day like today, it's cold as fuck and sunny outside.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I like it. I have a hoodie again. It was Christmas presents. So I was really excited to have hoodie weather.
Ain't it weird how like the older you get, like you don't like. I got like for Christmas I got a fucking PlayStation 5. I got like
Nice.
a bomb ass ninja it's called the foodie. It's the
Ooh.
see, it's the air fryer. It's got does everything. It can dehydrate. It can do everything.
Oh, it's yeah.
I got
game
You
changer.
make some treats with that thing.
Like I brined a chicken and roast that motherfucker in 45 minutes.
No shit.
No shit. Like straight up.
Now, with an air fryer, can you like make it crispy?
The air fryer is the fucking cheat code to everything. Like French fries, cheese sticks.
Yeah.
It makes the best fucking chicken wings.
If it comes out of a frozen bag type deal, like
Yeah.
French fries, chicken wings, even the broccoli, some stuff like that, like it does it pretty good.
Yeah, that's one thing I think you need to have is an air fryer. It's worth it.
And I think it's just what do you call it? It's just an oven with a fan.
Yeah, it's
Circulate
really convection.
convection?
It's a convection oven, but like
Yeah.
they've done something to make like the air flow better.
Yeah, so the air's just flowing in there. You can buy full size ovens
Yeah.
with the same technology. Except instead of spending $2,000, you're spending $100-something bucks.
Yeah. But this motherfucker does everything. Like I cooked bacon yesterday for breakfast. Like I've done everything.
Yeah.
But like going back to like getting the hoodie, like I got like socks and underwear, like, and I really enjoy those other gifts I got, and I got some really thoughtful gifts I enjoy. But I'm really excited about having new underwear and new socks.
Oh, totally. That was the thing I was looking forward to the most.
Yeah,
That's-
I got 2 pairs of sweatpants. I couldn't be more excited about it. Because, my previous pair of like pajama pants were so just big and baggy, and I kept walking on the
walking
bottom.
down.
You know what I mean? They're kind of they get gross. You got to wash them a bunch, and
It only takes so many farts.
yeah.
Yeah.
But these got like the little elastic bands or whatever down at your socks, so they don't sag. You're not tripping on them. Like I've almost collapsed on the ground multiple times this year putting them on because I'm stepping on them, and then both my feet get trapped, and I have to fall back like to the bed or the wall. It's pretty cool.
Stories you thought you'd never fucking tell.
It is like, I was just happy to be able to, as cheesy as it is, man, like be able to like just spend time with my fucking family, man. Like we've always had kind of like a small family, anyways, and I only had like 6 members essentially,
Yeah.
and we lost 2 of them this year, so like Thanksgiving was rough, and I was like thinking like oh god, Christmas is just gonna be the same thing. It's just gonna be like emotionally overwhelming and exhausting, and it wasn't. It was just really fucking pleasant. And I like seeing my parents happy. Like that makes me really really happy, and my brother. Like I like seeing them happy.
I like I've gotten to where I like Thanksgiving better than Christmas because you just go and you hang out and you just chill and eat with everybody, and and I think now with a lot of people, nobody cares who gets who what, and a lot of people have gone to a draw name
Or
type
like
deal.
we do with the the Chinese gift exchange, whatever it is.
So not everybody's having to buy a present for everybody. It's not about that, but just not even worrying about that and setting it to the side and like, oh yeah, we'll bring food and just sit down for a minute and see how everybody's doing and just talk.
Watch a game.
Yeah, that's more enjoyable to me than going and hoping I get a whatever.
Right. Yeah. Guys think the apocalypse is going to happen?
What a segue. Let's talk about togetherness and family and holidays.
Well, because
Let's bring it to the end of the world.
dude, it's been like I haven't really known anxiety until this year, and like if I hadn't been like doing like a podcast and like regularly, like or at least somewhat regularly engaging people in like conversation, like I don't know what I would like be doing because I've been just like living out in the woods and like with all this this dread and it's fat Jesus, baby. That's how I roll.
Oh, booty
But like I've just been like surrounded with like all this dread and death and like all this shit, and like I've never like thought about this stuff like on this kind of level.
Well, it's just pumped in. Just pumped in on these damn television screens.
Well, I think you at a certain age you start realizing like your own mortality. Like that's something that has to do with it. Like this is not a permanent vessel.
Oh yeah.
Things tear down. I mean, we're staring down 40, and we both all wake up and shit hurts for no fucking reason some days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've kind of accepted this year as my midlife crisis. I think that's where I'm at. You know,
I'm so excited to get home on Friday night and get home, get settled, eat dinner, and then sit down and have some coffee and a cup of Motrin. And I'm not joking about that at all. like nothing just puts a smile on my face. Take them a couple Motrin pills.
Sit back on the computer, play a little something.
Yeah, and just sit for a minute, and it's like, man, I'm gonna feel so much better in about 30 minutes when this Motrin kicks in.
I like being able to, since I work from home now, so like my weekends I like okay, I want to go out and do something outside one day, like out of the week at least, you know, and then like try to engage in people other than through a screen.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. Like, I work outside all the time, so the idea of me going home and leaving the house again on the weekend is sacrilege.
Yeah. Yeah, I want that truck to park and stay parked.
That's like, everybody's like, you know, a lot of our friends work office jobs or they work inside and like, let's go out and do something this weekend. It's like, no, the sun's out there. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I work outside all the time. I don't give a shit about camping. Yeah. I don't want to be outside fishing.
Like the beach.
Yeah, the beach. Who put it in the zeitgeist that going to the beach is a thing you do? Let's go travel 3 hours to sit on a sandbar in the heat all day around other people doing the same thing. So obviously you're around fucking retards, much like yourself. Yeah. So you decided to pack sandwiches in the cooler and lug it across boiling hot fucking sand to sit on an umbrella and look at waves roll in that are full of like petrochemicals and trash and pollutants. I mean,
and piss.
And piss.
People piss.
Yeah,
Fish piss. Seal piss.
Who thought like
that's the worst description of the beach? That is accurate.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Like, why go to a fucking mountain where it's nice in the summertime and look on a peak and ponder your life?
Yeah.
Like,
well, just like there is something about like the energy at the beach and like the air and like breathing it in and the sound where it's just like, oh god, just like,
it's relaxing.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you've ever been in heavy snow and there's like an odd. Not quite silence, but there's a deafening noise. There's a frightening calm about the sound of like snow. And, but the mountains, like the air in the mountains, like it just hits you different.
Apparently, the snow acts as like a sound buffer because like you got the way you got a fucking degree in sound, but like it goes each one of those little snowflakes is like a little fucking thing you put in a studio.
Yeah, diffuser
that reflects sound. You've got billions of them fall at one time, so sound doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. But I have been in the snow before. This was in Jersey. It was after the house fire, and there was it was a couple months later. But we had 4 feet in some areas. It was like 3.5, 4 feet of snowfall, like a big blizzard. Well, we had a traumatic event, happen. So we all took LSD and put in. Got snow gear on and put in earbuds so everybody had their own personal soundtrack. Yeah. And then just went out and like played in the snow like therapeutically for like 3 or 4 hours. Like it was awesome. And we found there's where we were staying at the time there was probably about a little less than what I got here, so probably like an acre and a half was there, and just like no trees, just a thick white blanket, and we could see out in the middle of it there was a burrow where something had jumped in through the snow and like a fox or something, but it just looked like a sinkhole in like an ivory bathtub or something, where like you saw no tracks. Whatever this thing was had like snuck like across the snow without leaving any footprints and then dug down into like this little burrow and whatnot.
Oh man,
we stayed.
Cozy boy.
Yeah. There's at one point later on in the trip where I was like burying myself in the snow, and I was just like having like kind of like a Jack London moment where I was like I could just fucking die like right here, comfortable as shit.
You were really close to being a headline on the paper somewhere.
I was a bit reckless in my 20s.
Yeah, I know. I mean, how many people you know would go to a river with a lit gas can and spin in a circle naked?
Fun time. I pooped in a sock as well at that river bank.
I will forever remember that story's like, I got a shit. I was like, well, I got nothing to wipe with. I said, well, go down in the water, take a shit, and wipe with your sock. And then I'm like, simple.
Yeah.
No, you shit you shit into the sock. Like, what the fuck?
So again, like a bolo twister or whatnot.
Goddamn, go away, get away, go.
Well, yeah, because they had to then use the other sock to wipe with. You don't want to walk around with just one sock. Yeah. How odd is that?
Yeah, what am I, a madman?
Well, fellas, got about 3 hours on this mug.
Good job.
Good job all around.
And to you too, Bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonker's in the 4th seat over here.
Literally.
Finally calmed the fuck down.
What? You guys didn't talk about anything. I wanted to talk about salmon, and fish, and
Birds.
and balls made of aluminum foil and plastic bags.
How do you really feel about the plastic dinosaur?
What's the best thing about pushing shit off the counter?
No comment?
You pick it up. You pick it up right up, I get to do it again.
Well, Merry Christmas to both of you
Merry
fellas.
Yes,
Christmas.
as well.
And see what 2021 brings.
It's going to be another shitty year. Go ahead and strap in. Coronavirus isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
The next administration is going to be fucking dog shit. We'll be
Yeah.
at war with somebody.
Yeah.
And the media will not be any fucking help at all. So that's what 2021 is going to be.
Should give us plenty to talk about, though.
Well, at least.
Yeah.
It won't be enjoyable.
I think so. Well, thanks, fellas.
Bye, son.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.